Well, Honda was the first job. I interned at Mazda twice and then Hyundai once. Concept car at Hyundai and some production projects at Mazda. I interviewed with Ford and then a few other companies and then I settled on Honda. We're going to hire you through the power sports motorcycle side. We'll see how it goes. But I got thrown on CBR 1000 right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, CBR 1000 and then CBR 600. Their cruiser line I got thrown on. I mean, they were doing this new program where they need these like modern cruiser chopper type things. And they had this bike in there called Techno Cruiser. But for me, I loved cars.
What was the funny story? I wanted to hear the funny story about Ford.
I don't know about this.
Okay, if you don't want to tell it, then don't.
I mean, so
we got to keep this interesting. We don't want like the PG version of the podcast.
Oh man, so I haven't told this story in public.
No time like the.
You're listening to another episode of Oil and Whiskey. This week we have Sean Smith. Sean Smith Designs. I don't know why it's taken us this long. I do know why it's taken us the last 6 months because you canceled on us. But other than that, I don't know why it became.
I think it's a geographical location situation.
It is a geographical location situation.
I was moving that weekend.
Yeah, moving is more important than flying all the way out here for this podcast.
Though? Is it?
I mean, I'd rather not move, but if you have to move, it's definitely more important.
This is quite an opportunity.
Yeah, it is quite an opportunity.
But you're out here for Roger's business development class, right, Roger and Troy's? So you're sliding into the podcast. The timing worked out good.
Worked out great.
Yeah.
We appreciate you making the trek.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Yeah.
We pretty much got the full rundown when Roger was here, yesterday or whatever. So, I mean, honestly, I'd save your money. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. We can give you the cliff notes after.
Now that Roger's gone, we're done promoting.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, I think it's going to be
how much it costs you and just charge a little bit more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it'd be good, man.
It'd be a lot of good
stuff
time
going on there.
Yeah.
But you've done a fair amount of podcasting given the story. So we won't go like our traditional start from the beginning. Like we can run
when your parents gave you your first set of crayons, or it's not going to start there.
But it would be good to go through a quicker version, a Cliff Notes version of of your start. Most people have probably already heard it, but we can go through it.
Okay.
And then we'll get into the fun stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know, where do I start?
When did it all start? How did you decide that this is what you were going to do? Where was this was it a high school, a junior high, like I'm not reading books, I'm not paying attention to class, I'm drawing cars scenario, and then it just kept going? How did it start?
I've been drawing cars since I was 4. And then I knew I wanted to do something professionally with art when I was a kid, probably 8, 9, 10. I don't know. When you start thinking like, oh, I was always really good at drawing. I've always been kind of fortunate to have a kind of a skill in drawing. And thank you.
No problem.
And actually, it's weird. I remember when I was in kindergarten. This is a funny story. When I was in kindergarten, since I was the best at drawing, I think it was like the Rotary Club or somebody came in and they wanted a big drawing of a car for their office from the teacher was like, oh, Sean, you're the best drawer in class, and they gave me a big piece of butcher paper and rolled it out, and I drew this humongous, I think it had to be like a city vehicle, so I think it was I drew like a police car, and they all came in, and they hung it on the office or something, and that was like my first professional. But I don't know, for ever since then I've always been the kid that was good at drawing in class, and that kind of fueled the energy to be like, I want to do this for a living. I didn't know really entirely how to get there, obviously. I mean, I would see articles and, like any of us, I started reading Rod and Custom, and I would see Tom Taylor and Steve Stanford sketch pads, but I didn't know how to get there.
Yep. You born and raised in California?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm from San Bernardino. And so...
What'd your parents do?
Well, so my dad's, he's a shop owner as well. He's a general automotive repair shop. My grandfather owned the shop before him. In 1948, they started it.
Wow.
And then my dad bought it from my mom's dad in 1978, right there on Route 66, actually catty corner to Gabe's.
Oh, really?
That's how that connection is.
That's cool.
Yep. So, and we grew up in a hot rod family, always had something going on, project car. But yeah, I didn't know, I would see these sketches in like Rod and Custom and Tom Taylor and Steve Stanford, and I didn't know how to get there. And then was like around 14. I started drawing shoes and stuff like that too. I loved Nikes and wanted to be a shoe designer. And my art teacher took the sketches, and I thought I got in trouble and he's confiscated them, but he took them and actually sent them to Nike. And I got a note back from Phil Knight saying that I should visit Art Center.
Wow.
That's cool.
So I visited Art Center to look at their product design program, but then I saw their car design program, and I was like, oh my God, like.
Dude, my drawings got taken away, but I didn't end up. They didn't get sent to anybody.
They got sent
other than
somebody.
my parents.
They got sent somewhere. Just
As the principal.
it was.
Yeah, I went to the principal, then the parents, and it's like, dude, you should probably stop drawing.
Yeah.
But that's cool as hell, man.
Yeah, I went there.
Wow.
And then at the same time, too, like when I came back, like Chip Foose, this is when Chip was working at Boyd's. He had just done a sponsored project with the school with studying the future of the hot rod. So they just did a futuristic hot rod project there, too. So they were just wrapping up on that. And it was just like, I was like, oh, my God, you could get paid to draw cars. This is what I'm going to do. So about a year later, I ended up going to continuation school for reasons we won't talk about. But we didn't have class on Friday, and Art Center had this program called Saturday High, and it was car design classes for kids it was like a pre-course to the regular program. And so they said on Friday and Saturday. So I started taking car design classes at Art Center when I was in high school, Friday and Saturday.
We had Saturday High as well.
Yeah.
You
It was,
were high. on
it was
Saturday.
different though. Hey, you're in good company on it when you talk about continuation school. We've had this discussion. I think that it has to do with
Creative minds.
creative nature of yeah. You'd be amazed at how many people on this podcast, and maybe even a few in this room,
The alumni.
Oh, really?
that have struggled through the primary school.
Including two of us sitting right here at the table.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Phil, on the other hand, is a
I took the
Big
normal
Ten business school college graduate.
It's became quite a thing of
little
us
different
making
path.
fun of each other of how much worse the other one's secondary schooling or alternative schooling was.
Mine was internal within the school, so I feel like I prevail.
I think
above
that
Josh.
Did you really go to continuation school?
Well, it was like an inside regular school, but
What would
like
you call
was-
it though? What was the name? They had a name of this program, and let him just tell you the name, and you'll draw your own conclusions at what type of program this was.
So the program was called Geared Up for Learning. All right, and instead of like some of the regular classes, I went over to Geared Up for Learning. It was a little more like one-on-one, like a little more.
for the challenged youth.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't extracted from school like Josh was. Josh went to an off-site facility. I hung on by the skin of my teeth to stay within the walls of the high school.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we got through it. Here we all are.
It's I think it has something. It says something about your mind, the way it works.
Yeah.
Because you're worried about other things.
Yeah, so we're looking for an artist to help draw new logos for T-shirts for Geared Up for Learning,
And the Answer Center. Josh was the Answer Center. I was Geared Up for Learning. How about you? What was the school called?
It was just summer school.
No, I mean, dude, what was the real school? It was continuation school, but it was Willow Park High School.
Okay. So
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
high school. It was just a
Yeah.
But it definitely was continuation school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But we didn't have school on Friday, so I used that day and Saturday to start going to Art Center. And while everybody's doing like the normal track of high school, I'm like getting taught by people, real world professionals in the automotive industry. And I actually graduated a year early and kind of just set a track to go to Art Center. Yeah. So
That's a sweet story, man.
yeah.
At that point, the goal was just go to Art Center. Did you have any type of career path before going?
No.
It's just
To be honest with you, once I found since sophomore year, that was it.
It's just Art Center. Let me just get to Art Center.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I'm going to be a car designer. That there's no, and to be honest with you, I wasn't really good at anything else. So it was that or nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the goal. And then I graduated high school, and then I applied, and they're like, your portfolio is great, but you're too young. And I'm like, They're like at the time, most of the people, the average age there was late 20s, 30s. And a lot of the people that were going there already had a degree or came from another degree or school or practice or something. And they're like, listen, we don't doubt your talent, but it's the workload and the tenacity that you have to have. You're not ready. So I went to JC for 1 year, and I started freelancing, and I started doing like magazine work for Peterson and McMullen, and started doing like renderings for magazines. And then I reapplied just to like, I'll just put my stuff in and reapply, and I got in. So like 7 months later, I got in.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So you were 7 months older, and then you had they said, okay, you're old enough.
Yeah, and then I think there was like a 3 months lap that I really started in the following September. But yeah, that was it. I mean, and away we go. So yeah.
How long through Art Center are you figuring out how to make a living at doing this?
What do you mean now? I'm sorry.
Well, how long into Art Center are you starting to think of like, well, school's going to wrap up eventually? Like, how am I going to get paid to do this?
So Art Center, at the time, the really good thing about Art Center is the connection and contact that they have with the OEM industry and the design studios is always in sync. From your very first term, you're always constantly being scouted, scrutinized, or overlooked by every top car designer in the world is walking through those halls. So, there's design directors that will see a kid early on and they'll remember him. They might not remember him, but they'll remember the sketch.
Right.
Yeah. So we're always taught, to put our name up on the wall whenever you present. I mean, you'll actually, some of the instructors will drop you a letter grade because it's like, well, why is it important when some design director comes through? I remember first term I was, we all put our work up, and Dave Merrick, he was the vice president of design at Honda, he came through and he looked at our work and he sat down and critiqued us, and I ended up going to Honda. So it's one of those situations. So you're always in the eye of the OEM industry as soon as you start there. Around fourth term, around midway through, you start getting scouted for internships, and those internships are for an OEM company, and they're Volkswagen, Audi, Bugatti, Nissan, Toyota, GM. And they start posting them on the bulletin board, and so you apply for those. And those are real internships. Those aren't like get coffee and go get this, go get that. It's like, here's your desk. You're working on a concept car. You got 3 to 6 months. This is what we're doing. So it's very hit the ground running type of project. And most of the kids that, in order to get an OEM job, you have to have at least 2 or 3 internships. So the school's 2.5 years, but you want to do 2 or 3 internships. So that's another 1.5 years. Then you want to take a year off because it's a lot. It's just financially, you're going to have to work on your academics. So it's about 4 to 5 years to get through Art Center. Yeah.
We had the oil stand lab. Nikita was on.
Yeah.
Kind of told the story about the gauntlet of running through, doing.
Of course, they did it at like 13.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Yeah. Savants. So Honda was the first job.
Honda was the first job. I interned at Mazda twice, and then Hyundai once, and then worked on like a concept car at Hyundai and some production projects at Mazda, and then Honda was supposed to. I interviewed with Ford, which was an interesting story. I interviewed with Ford and then a few other companies, and then settled on Honda. But at the time, I wanted to go on the car side, and they were like, "Well, we already hired somebody last term who was my roommate, but we're going to hire you through the power sports motorcycle side. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll go from there." And so I went through on the motorcycle side, which is very interesting because I don't ride motorcycles, but somehow they thought I would be a good fit. And then I went in there, and they had some amazing projects in there. I got thrown on CBR 1000 right off the bat.
Oh, yeah. What year was this?
2004.
Oh.
Yeah, CBR 1000, and then CBR 600. Their cruiser line I got thrown on. I mean, they were doing this new program where they need these like modern cruiser chopper type things. Mm-hmm. And they had this bike in there called Techno Cruiser. Jesse was actually doing some stuff with them that I don't know if anybody knows about.
Really?
Did you ever see the Red Rocket?
No.
Yeah, it was like a little cafe racer that Jesse did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was, and it was around that time that like bikes were super hot, like biker build off. Roland Sands was getting building a lot of steam.
That was the prime time then.
Yeah, bikes were super hot, and but for me, I loved cars, and they were like, "How come you don't ride?" Because I told them, I'm like, "Listen, I'll design motorcycles. I'm not riding." And because either you like riding or you don't. And if you don't like riding, don't get on a motorcycle. But they were like, well, listen, you're going to have to get your license. And I'm like, okay, I get that. So I got my license. And we had this whole stable of bikes to pull from, like for research. I mean, we had vintage Ducatis, and we had some stuff that Jesse would loaned us. We had Confederates. We had, we had some amazing bikes in the state. Like, so if you're a bike guy, you could check them out on the weekend and, you know, hey, I'm going to take out this bike or that bike. Cause we had to do like competitive analysis with the bikes, and, but it still wasn't digging it. And so, after about, I think it was 2 years, I hung it up. But part of the reason why, you know, I met Mike and Jim at SEMA in 2004. I was walking out of the North Hall. You know how you go from North Hall to the Hilton? Back then it was the Hilton.
Yep.
Yeah, and a buddy of mine had stopped me. You know, it used to be like the Optima Alley.
Yep.
Yeah, and Mike was there with Silver Streak.
Okay.
You remember that car?
Vaguely.
Pre-Kona.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture it.
It was a silver car, had Jeep headlights in it.
And that would have been like the first thing they did after that wacky Camaro.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
That's when I first heard of them, was that like yellow.
Yeah, those in
Camaro.
Super Rod.
Yeah, like C6 taillights or something, didn't it?
Right. And so I ended up striking a conversation with him. You know, he'll talk to anybody. And so he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, you know, and he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a designer. And he's like, what kind of designer? I'm like, car designer. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, who do you work for? I'm like, well, I work for Honda, but I do bikes. And he's like, oh, this is my car. So we started talking and developed a relationship. And he's like, well, let me get your card, you know? So gave my card. And he's like, I'd love to talk to you when I get back. So when I called, you know, he left a message. And you know, I called him back. And he's like, you know, yeah, I want to do a car with you. And so I was working at Honda. And I wasn't really digging it at Honda because they wanted you to stay so damn late. You know, a traditional Japanese company is like stay till 1 or 2 in the morning, be here at 7 in the morning, you know? And so, I still wanted to do car stuff. So I did a Kona with them. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah.
The all black one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, we started doing Reactor, and the pay at Honda wasn't that good. My old man was like, how much you making there? And I'm like, this much. He's like, well, how you making with these guys in Wisconsin? How much? And I'm like, later Honda, you know. So I started working.
That was stateside though, working for all those Honda, Suzuki, Hyundai. That's all.
It was all in the California
it was
studio,
Torrance,
right?
Torrance studio. Yeah. And then I was flying back, working with Mike and Jim all the time. And especially so when Reactor started getting going, I mean, they were keeping me busy. And so that's when I was like, I'll just strike out on my own and do my own thing.
You said you backtracking just a bit. You said you interviewed with Ford. Do you remember who you interviewed with?
Pat Chavone.
Have you ran into him since then?
Yeah.
What was the funny story? I wanted to hear the funny story about Ford.
I don't know about this.
Okay, if you don't want to tell it, then don't.
I mean, so
we got to keep this interesting. Come on, we don't want like the PG version of the podcast.
Oh man, so I haven't told this story in public.
No time like the present. There's not that many people that listen to this, so you're fine.
Yeah,
like people hear it.
Yeah.
So when you graduate Art Center, like all the people come to interview you from all the car companies. So Monday through Friday, it's all slotted through. Like, so you have Ford and Nissan on Monday, and GM and Cadillac on Tuesday, and Audi and Volkswagen on. They're all interviewed. So that's part of the good thing when you asked about how to plan for your exit and how to go out in the world. They kind of plug and play, at least at that time. I don't know if they still do, but you have a good amount of interviews lined up. They all fly out to see your graduating class. So Ford came out, and I hit it off pretty good with them. And then if you get a call back later that day, that means that they want to interview you, and they're going to bring you out to their corporate headquarters. So Jeannie Mitsunaga, who's Career Resources, she calls me. She goes, hey, Ford really liked your stuff. They're going to fly you out to Dearborn. I'm like, great. She goes, they're also going to fly out 2 other classmates that you graduated with, Tim Doyle and Rob Williams, which Timmy's at Chrysler, and Rob, he was at Nike, but he helped found Rivian. Really, really talented guy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. So they flew us out together, so we fly into Detroit. Now, mind you, I've never been to Detroit. I've never been to the Midwest, really. I've only grown up in California. And so we get there, and Rob's like, listen, I'll get the bags. You go get the car. You go get the rental car. They had it all lined up for us to get a rental car. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, Sean, go get the rental car. We'll meet you back here in the front. So I go to the rental car place, and I'm like, okay, I'm here to pick up a rental car under Ford Motor Company. And she's like, oh, okay. This is your ID. She's like, it's all taken care of. I'm like, what do you got us in? And she's like, Crown Vic. That's the standard. It's like, it's what everybody gets. And I'm like, I think we can do a little better than that. She's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, she's like, we got an Explorer. I think we can do a little better than that. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what else do you have? And this time, they owned Premier Automotive Group. This is when they owned Aston Martin and Range Rover and Jaguar and all that stuff. She's like, we got a Range Rover. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, you sure? I'm like, she's like, that's usually for like executives and like,
yeah,
we're gonna be
100%.
Yeah, right.
They flew us out here.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, me and my colleagues, and so, right? And so, she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, you're it says right here from HR to like, and I'm like, okay. So they don't, the rest of the classmates don't know this is happening, right? They're getting the bags. Remember that scene in The Hangover where they get the cop car from valet?
Yes. Yes.
And the look on their faces. So they pull up the Range Rover and they're like, dude, what did you do? And they're like, turn that back. And I'm like, it's cool. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So next thing you know, we're like driving down 8 Mile with the windows down and this thing. And we're like, this is it, right? So the next day, we have to go to the Ford Design Center. Of course, I parked next to a silver HSE, which is just J Mays. I didn't know, but like, yeah. And so we walk in and they didn't see it. They're like, oh, by the way, we've arranged transportation on the way back. We're going to give you a ride in an Aviator to show you really what we're all about. And the classmates are like, dude, like,
you have done it.
Yeah. Cause they didn't know we would. Yeah. They're like, what did you do? And I'm like, so we interviewed with, I think it was Pat Chavone, and I think Camilo was dropped in and then he dropped out, or he came in for a minute. By the time, and then like on the flight back, by the time we landed, they called Timmy and said he got it. Timmy Doyle got the job, but I got an email saying that like, further, like, that's it. Like whatever you did, like your future employment with Ford, and this is how much that car cost, and like, so.
That's a good lesson for anybody listening. If you've flown out for an interview,
just take the car they give you.
Take the economy car.
Yeah. So
hey, could have gone the other way.
It worked out. Worked out pretty good in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it was a sales position, it'd been like, hey, you talk that lady into giving you this. But
I know, right? Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, but at the time I was like Rob and Timmy were like, dude, we're not going to get hired. You ruined it for us. What's going on? Like, I was like, relax, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Nobody's going to know. Yeah.
That's how big that company is. So it'll take them years before they figure it out.
So I got that email, but then the next day, Honda called, and they were like, yeah, we want to hire you, or we want to interview you again. So I took Honda. Had to. And
didn't get a rental car.
Didn't get a rental. Well, I was in California.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to Detroit at that point or not. But
Detroit in that era was not so good.
You know what? Looking back, though, I really do wish I would have made a push to go to Detroit. I recommend anybody in the car industry, like if you're going to be a real serious car designer, take it serious. Go to the chocolate factory, see where it's made. Get all the experience, do all the things. It's weird because going to Art Center, everybody that goes there wants to stay in California and they want to have this California job and California studios. But really, if you really, really want to be known, you're going to go to Europe or you're going to go to Detroit. And there
was big shit happening at the Big Three in Detroit in the early 2000s. I mean, there was lots of game-changing vehicles.
Oh yeah,
coming through.
The J Mays era of car design was amazing. Yeah, I mean that whole retro automotive Americana thing they did. When I interned at Mazda, Ford owned Mazda at the time, and they had a hidden studio in Ford that they were doing all like the 427 concepts and Lincoln retro concepts.
Really?
And I used to go in. I wasn't allowed technically to go over there, but you could see over in but from afar, like these full size Lincolns they were working on, and
Stand on the roof of the Range Rover and kind of look through the windows.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, they were doing
So
some
much-
really cool stuff.
They were pushing the envelope.
Yeah. So I think they're still doing a pretty good job. I mean, I think all the OEMs are doing a really good job, but yeah, I think we're in a weird transition right now with the automotive industry with
Just power plants or what? What do you think it is? Styling?
power plants. I think styling. I think the Dodge Charger is like a pretty good example of that. I think, they had a good solid base and foundation, a customer base, and
Yep.
they came out with the electric version of it. I think we all know that the average Dodge Charger customer is not going
Not interested in that.
not interested in that, especially at that price point. And then now they're reversing that power
Yeah,
plant.
they're going back now and
Yeah, and they're
re-releasing the Hellcat stuff.
Exactly. Like anything else with the world, with what I call volleyball politics. Now we have volleyball back and forth. This administration, we're going to have, V8s, which is great for us. And the next administration, if somebody else gets in,
If it takes you 4 or 5 years to tool up, though, you're already full blown pregnant by the time it
and
swings
I
back
think
the other way.
It's really hard to make a conscious decision of what we want to do. I mean, for so long, I think the era of like 16, 17, when Ford was like GT350 and the Ford GT and the Raptor, and then everything else was going to inspire that. That was really, you know what I mean? And all the SRT stuff, and
Yep.
that's all great stuff. And it's just, everything's all over right now. And now you have all these new companies, and which I love that. It's inspiring, and I welcome that. Like the electronic Rivian stuff, and like we were talking with Zinger, stuff like that. There's a lot of exciting small volume companies. And,
Sure.
and then it affects us too, because I think you have got the hot rod industry, but then you also have, I see a lot of builders wanting to do, I want to do a run of this, or I want to do small volume that too.
Yep.
And so, I think you guys had a lot to do with that too, with your Survivor stuff. I think that was a way of some guys want show cars, and that's what they want to do, and some guys want to get them and they want to drive. And there's some really cool stuff with that.
Oh, I think it was a little bit of a display of that a shop can turn out volume. 'Cause
Right.
everybody's building super high end stuff, and it's just you're at the limitation of what you can do and the talent you've got and the manpower you've got. So most shops were accustomed to, you might see one car a year, and I think in our prime on those Survivors, we were probably pumping out over a dozen of them a year, turnkey sorted cars delivered, going down the road. And I think that definitely changed things and changed the mentality of.
It changed it drastically.
You could put cars on the road.
The
And then
biggest
people-
thing, though, was the acceptance of the paint and body. Because
Yeah, we were nervous as hell about
that's-
that in the early years on that.
that was
Just being judged by your peers, really.
Yeah.
Of you sort of built a shit box, was our concern, right? Everything beneath it was all nice stuff. I mean, there were guys doing it's not like we invented it, right? There were guys doing patinaed trucks and stuff like that, but mainstream at a higher level.
Survivors.
Yeah, people weren't doing higher end, higher price point stuff. So it was a big concern, and luckily it was accepted. But
once you put more of a name and a thing behind it, and you can categorize it, then it lowers that stigma of Troy from BBT can do a Survivor. I'll just finish this Survivor vehicle. So it's instantly it's categorized. Then it's not like, well, man, why doesn't the door fit that quarter perfect? Oh, so this is original paint? Yeah, it's original paint. Or yeah, it was repainted back 15 years ago or something like that. It's pretty damn good quality, blah blah blah. Where it's not now, it's a stigma of well, you built it, why isn't it perfect? Yep. Oh, it's a Survivor, customer loves it, but look, check what we did under the hood, and hey, we did this one, this one. We hid these little trinkets and stuff like this, where that was the paint and body thing was the biggest deal, because we've talked about it 100 times that was the limiting factor for so many customers on getting many customers and so many shops to get not only from a price point, but to your point on getting that many vehicles done.
Right.
Imagine if you're doing all those Survivors and you're painting body on every single one of them. You wouldn't be doing.
we can't do it.
No, yeah, I mean,
yeah, and I think that's a kind of a struggle with some of the bigger small volume manufacturers do have is, they're trying to build 12 of the show cars that we do a month or whatever. That's hard. It's the same car essentially, but it's still hard. Quality control, production, everything. I mean, it's really hard. So
yeah, a lot of guys are doing it. Your velocity sort of makes it look easy.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're the guys.
They're the guys. They're doing a lot of numbers.
And the way they've got it going on, I mean, it's a very impressive operation. And the level of quality that they put out the door, it's great. And everybody, I think, they see that, they want to emulate that. It's not easy to do.
I think,
that's a hell of a lift.
I think you have to have not so much an impressive build or design, but you have to have an impressive build process.
Yes.
Everything in the bill of materials has to be making sense for that to make sense. And what I mean by that is sometimes you have a preset colors, preset options, preset this. And then the one guy that goes, but wait a minute. My wife picked out this color that our chandelier's painted and we need to color match it that. And that guy's jacking up production for everybody else now.
Yep.
So now it's like, okay, is this a custom car now, or is this, you know what I mean? So Are you going to do that, or are you going to offer those kind of things? Because that's, I think, when things get very tricky. And so,
Everyone in our industry, that's like your go-to. So that's what they always default to. It's, we can do that. No, we can put those different wheels on there.
Right.
We build it with 18s. We can do 20s by 12. All you got to do is mini tub it, and then all you got to do is redo the interior. And
then, one thing leads to another, and and so it's the process has to be the inspiration almost, and how you're going to build the car and how you're going to brand it, market it, sell it, all that stuff's just, it's a different deal, so.
Yeah, I think that's the most highly overlooked aspect of that. That a lot of car builders, a lot of talented car builders out there, and everybody sort of thinks, wow, I did this one, like we should just do like more of these,
Yeah.
You totally overlook the process. That like it's wild to see it. I mean, I've spent some time at Velocity and I've seen the way that machine works, and it is fucking impressive. Like you're not just a car builder that decides I want to do more of these.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot.
And you're at the mercy of your vendors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
You're only as good as the people that if they can keep up, and they have to have a good rapport, and
right.
Everything's got to be moving at that point. The amortization, everything. So it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's the OEs. The OEs put definitely throw a wrench in that nowadays, because end of the day, any of these guys are relying on an OE crate motor. And that becomes GM hasn't been exactly the greatest vendor. Their crate motor program's been a little sketchy. You never know what's going to drop. One day there's a LT4, then there's an LT5, and then there's neither. And you tool up to package this in a platform, and you've got accessories for it, and then it's gone. It's tricky.
Yeah, I think those days are over for GM Performance Parts. I mean, everything that's going new. I mean, you think they're going to do LT5 or LT6, crate motors, flat plane crate, it's just not in their.
Well, I don't know where it goes. You're talking about sort of, I don't want to backtrack too much, but you're talking about where are the cars going? Where's the evolution of cars with the OEs and stuff, and really where is it? Where is it going? Because that's the trickle down is what we get. We use the latest transmission. We use the latest engine that becomes a crate engine. But what happens next? Now you've got 1,200 horsepower Corvette, turbo motors that are in the back, right? So how much more fucking horsepower do they start building? And what realistically can even trickle down into this industry?
First, they got to start building cars again. You look at how many, besides just the high-end sports car, there's no cars, right? There's not even a Camaro anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's all
SUVs and crossovers.
It's all SUVs and crossovers, which, it takes people to buy them to get them to build them again.
Because everybody goes, well, they don't want cars. And it's people like German cars. I drive a German sedan, I have an Audi. It's people love the 5 Series. They love, I don't know how much 7s you see, but 3s and 5s and stuff like that. You see a lot of that stuff. and you don't see any, just a nice.
Mercedes built a shit ton of cars.
Yeah, you just don't see any
All the
nice
foreign
rear wheel
brands.
drive American cars.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're all the small little 2-door hatchbacks.
that's
or-
why people love the Dodge Charger, because it was pretty much an affordable rear wheel drive sedan.
Yeah, it made shit tons of horsepower too.
Yeah, that could make shit tons of horsepower, and take it to sideshows.
Yeah.
So
Audi's tough to do that. You can't get the all-wheel drive to let break loose, huh?
yeah, I know. So, and then but I was looking at the new Audis today. That they had the new wagon that dropped today,
I didn't see
RS5
it.
wagon. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So there are nice cars. I mean, it's a high price point, that car. It's a big tag car, but you can do cool cars. But yeah, everything's trucks. That's America in general. Everything's trucks. So yeah. So
I think that, back to your question, it's going to take the aftermarket getting faster to figure it out. There's going to need to be more Motecs, more HP tuners, more, because those motors are going to keep getting built
Right.
in, American and other supercars, right? But they're not.
It's more and more complicated. And
Yeah, gone are the days like GM with the LS3 Connect and Cruise package, right?
Yep.
That basic architecture of that motor was in 7 different vehicles. They were building an absolute shit ton of them. It was fairly easy to do a, harness an ECU, and they sold a shit ton of them. That's not the same. You can't do that like you said on the new C8, right? You're just gonna pull the crate motor and be like, all right, this is the price point.
Yeah.
Figure it the fuck out. I don't know about a bell housing or a transmission or an ECU or a harness. It's going to take the aftermarket of figuring it out, right? It's going to, we're getting calls on the shit now, right? Hey, can you make motor mounts for it? It's like, well, what do you do about, I don't know, we're going to figure it out, right?
Yep.
I've already talked to, Motec, or I heard, tunes coming, it's the same shit. It's no different than back in the day. Think about Mark Campbell at Street Performance, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's, what are we going to do, right? Small blocks over, you got TunePort, and you got LS, and you got this. OBD2 came around, and it was nobody could build a car anymore. OBD2's out, and it adapts, but it takes the aftermarket to adapt.
Yeah.
If the aftermarket adapts hard enough, then maybe the OE's like, ooh, we could make a little money doing this. That's just
Right.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, because it's like, think of this, that year gap from the current crate motor that we're using. what was the last year an LT4 ran in a production car?
LT4?
Yeah.
Still in the Blackwing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
I think it's still in the Blackwing.
But it was like 2014 is when it came out, right?
Mm-hmm. Think about the last LS3, though.
Well, yeah, that's,
The last LS3 was 12, 10.
yeah, we're like 10, we're using sort of like 10-year-old tech. Like at some point it's sort of like where the industry was. Like you're talking about the street performance thing, it's sort of like where it was. It's a little stagnant. It doesn't feel stagnant because you got great parts, you got huge power adders, great fucking Whipple superchargers and the turbo stuff and the ECUs and the harnesses and stuff that are there. It's just like at some point there's going to be the next thing.
It comes back down to like the conversation we were having with Roger too, on knowing what the customer wants. At the end of the day, customers like, I want to do X, Y, and Z with the car. I'd like to have about X, Y, and Z in the horsepower, right? And this is the other things that I drive, right? Well, it's cool to say, let's rip out the new ZR1X, and throw the hybrid front wheel drive and make it 1,300 horsepower. But if you could call, Wegner and say, hey, build a little LSX, with a single turbo or twins or something like that, and make 900, on pump gas, and do it all day long every day. Like it's not like we don't have options. It's not like the customers don't have options. It's just it's like, how much faster can we get the brand new shit into these muscle cars? Like that's the discussion.
But then there's the evolution of our industry, and you're working on something that's fucking crazy. So you want to talk about like not using something like
that exists.
I know you're designing a Camaro that's certainly not like a GM LS3. I saw bits and pieces at SEMA shown at the drivetrain, and
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if that's something you could talk about, but that
a little bit. Yeah,
that's a wild project.
it's a wild project I'm doing with Blazing Rods, the BR07, which is the concept is to kind of blend a hypercar with a pony car, muscle car.
Yep.
You know, yeah, and it's the dual motor. You know, with electric motor, doing all their own chassis development, carbon fiber body. It's going to be wild. And so that's actually what I'm currently working on now. That takes a lot of my time is the production A-side data and the full-size data for that. So we did a quarter scale model to show off, half scale actually. Usually we do quarter scale, but it's a half scale model to show off the initial concept, and just kind of refining and tweaking that. But yeah, it's probably in the next year or so that will be the next one.
ICE motor rear and electric hybrid front. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Twin motor front.
Twin electric motor front and
Okay.
yeah, both front, yeah. So
Are they looking at doing this as a one-off, one-only build, or
no, they're going to do a run of them, small volume production, and we're hashing, developing all that right now on the unit number and all that. But yeah, it will be a small volume run though. Yeah. So
It's a wild concept, man. And the hardware, just seeing that is, a lot of people talk about, like, I'm going to build a supercar.
sure.
And then you kind of like peek in there, and it's like underneath the fancy covers, it's a LS7 or something,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's got just hot rod industry parts. There's like, hey, look in there. It's like an I did it column, and it's a beautiful street rod. This is the
low
first
car shifter?
Oh, yeah, low car mushroom shifter, which is nothing wrong with it, but it's the first thing I've seen that's truly like, I mean, the hardware looks supercar level, like things you don't see shit like that. Like, I mean, it's somebody spent a tremendous amount of time, money. There's a shit ton of talent behind it, obviously.
Yeah, they have a talented crew. There's a lot of R&D being thrown at it right now. I got a little small team of guys working on the A side with me. They got people developing the chassis drivetrain stuff right now. We're getting together to mate everything together. We got, not a lot I could talk about, but it's going to be good.
It says R07 V8. Is that completely bespoke, or is it starting with an existing architecture of the engine of some sort?
BR07.
Well, it just says 1,600 horsepower hybrid drivetrain, twin turbo R07 V8 with a front axle. I just didn't. The V8 designation, is it TBD, or is it an idea and you just can't talk about it?
Oh, I don't know who wrote that. No,
Not a problem. Not a problem.
No. I'm trying to think here.
I just didn't know what engine that they're planning on using. ICE engine.
It's GM based, but
Okay.
I
Don't know the
exact. They do know, but yeah. So I do the outside shiny parts.
Make it look pretty. They figure
That's
out
what
how it
looks
goes.
cool.
And you say you got like a team of guys. Are you like surface modeling? This is cars, obviously, and CAD. Is that you, or you're the concept guy, conceptual? Or are you doing the sketch
A
work?
little bit of both. Yeah. So my process is obviously doing the sketching and the rendering and stuff. I used to do a little bit more of the digital modeling, but now I have a couple people working on it. I got one guy, really good guy. His name is Mike Tarver. He's got a lot of OEM experience. But we're building the body in Alias, which is a CAD modeling program used to build the servicing. It's a NURBS-based program. So, but yes, it's me and him back and forth. Like, I'll give him sketches, and then he'll mock things up. And the next day, we'll go over the revisions together. And I use Alias as well, not as extensively as him, but then we'll go over stuff and just build a dialogue and a relationship. Same as actually you would in a studio. You have a team of modelers, whether it's clay or digital. Yeah. So
How much contract work are you taking for other builders out there now on stuff?
a lot, probably more than I should. And actually I got some other projects that are in line with this one, but can't talk anything about that right now. But a lot of my projects right now are starting to be this caliber of project where it's small volume production thing. I really see this being a trend in the industry right now as people, it's like the icon, like the Jonathan Ward type of singer type of model is really started coming to fruition with what we do. It's exciting, It's exciting because I do feel as stale as the OEM industry is right now. What we do is picking up some of the excitement. You used to go to Detroit Auto Show and see all these concept cars and
auto shows are dead.
Auto shows are dead. And now Quail and Car Week is hot, and it's littered with cars like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Resto Mod Alphas and $2 million this and $3 million 964s. And it's all, that's, I think, where some of the most exciting things are happening right now.
We talked a little bit about this on the last couple podcasts. What do you think the correct dollar figure to volume run, meaning rarity, could be? Because we talked about the amount of supercar guys that have the means, right, to purchase within realm just about anything vehicle wise, they've either scratched their itch on their brand of choice or multiple brands of choice of the Ferraris or the Porsches and some of these things, and now they're looking to Singer and stuff like that because it is smaller volume, and they're trying to have the thing that maybe somebody else doesn't have, or this is a new piece of art.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, whatever that low volume thing is, if that volume exceeds whatever that rarity is, doesn't it defeat the purpose? Like, how much money should the thing cost? And what's the
should there be
Exclusivity.
200
is it
of
5,000
them
at three?
200 grand?
That's,
or
you see what I'm saying?
Should there be a dozen of them at 1.2
$3 million,
million bucks?
right? Whatever it is. There's not that anybody knows.
I mean, obviously,
but-
there's a business model behind the scenes, but like, what's the magic number?
Again, that's where I think people
Yeah.
need to sometimes not focus so much on building the car, but building the business model. Focus on the unit numbers. How much money are you going to make off of each one? Focus on the bill of materials. I know at Celine we used to do a lot of this. Celine Mustang, and then that model edition would run out. Then we do a special edition, and then we do a 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Or then we did, Singer's doing the classics, and then they've evolved into the turbo, and then after the turbo, I think that last week they just dropped the Cabriolet. So there's always something that's like, okay, this is getting we're at the end of a run. Okay, and then you got to drop something. There's always going to be a next chapter. So
I mean, I know there's as long as the demand is there now, then you keep building. But there's if looking forward to the future of there's a certain amount of Rolex model. Not saying you need to go that much, but there's there is a need to be a cap at production
and
exclusivity, which then continues that demand in perpetuity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm wondering what that is if it's a run of 10 at a $4 million. What's the new Gordon Murray one, whatever
the
that
price
thing's
probably sort of dictates that right on its own.
Yeah,
like the Singer car, which is fucking unbelievable. We saw that car up close.
they got people lining up though.
Which one, the DLS Turbo?
Zinger.
Or
No,
Zinger?
Zinger.
Oh yeah,
The Zinger.
That car's amazing.
Dude, I mean, I've never. So we were at what's the name of the place up outside in Pahrump?
Spring Mountains.
Spring Mountain.
Mountain.
Yeah.
We were talking about it off there before.
Like invite only, very exclusive supercar event with the rings that they were running the Aston out there, and I mean, you're talking the most rare supercars in existence. I mean, Bugattis and Koenigsegg's, and that Zinger. I mean, it's like in a league of its own. Like right next to those cars.
Yeah.
The quality and the innovation. I mean, it's fucking wild. But that's obviously a big price point, and I get maybe the price point. I wonder if they're turning people away, like saying, "Oh, there's only X amount," or the price point's just sort of the price point, the marketing, the reach, and maybe they can tool up to maybe it's 100. I don't know.
I think Bugatti only does, how many do they do a year? Like a 300?
Well, the Zinger guy was telling us they sold like 30, 35 of those cars or something like that.
Yeah.
1.2 to 1.5.
Is Bugatti in the 300s?
I think I've been looking at a lot of Bugattis lately.
I'll have to
A lot
check
of their-
those.
What's Koenigsegg at?
That I don't know. I don't pay as much attention to Koenigsegg. I think 30. But here's to answer your question. I think as long as you got to make it limited to get the spice out of it. You know what I mean? To give it some of the and as long as 30, 40, this model, molds are closed, destroyed. But who's not to say you can't do something else in the brand or lineup?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Midnight Edition or something.
Exactly. Or another model of car or something like that. But the brand's got to be strong to do that, which means,
What's the wait time for that individual customer? What's the is 6 months okay, but 2.5 years not? Like what's
Singer Porsches are several years.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Most of that stuff is multi year.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Just waiting for it.
I think that's how you got to be. I think you got to be so damn hot. It's like Louis Vuitton or Birkin bag or whatever, or Rolex. You got to be so hot that people are, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll get in line.
Yeah.
Well, I'm extra cool and I have extra money. We don't care. And that makes you want it even more. And that's kind of what I'm trying to tell people now too. Like you could build a car, but you have to make it so desirable and you have to market it in such a sexy way that you're going to do whatever you need to do to get in line to get it. You don't want to be the guy at the cocktail party that doesn't have that car. And that, okay, you can have a nice car. Everybody builds a lot of nice cars. And there's a lot of builders that build a lot of great cars. But what is it about how you market yourself that makes you desirable in the story you tell? That's a different deal. Like what makes, it goes back to like handbags. What makes like girls want a Louis Vuitton bag over a Michael Kors bag? Or, why does somebody want a Rolex over sure, one's better than the other and it's great, but there's just a lot of, I saw it when the Ford GT, when the last edition Ford GT came out, everybody wanted one. Everybody wanted to get one of those cases.
Yep.
They all wanted to be, and I know people that had the original and they didn't get picked. And that was supposed to be one of the things that was contingent on, is if you had a last one, you were kind of first. And now I see it with the GTD,
Oh yeah.
Everybody wants GTD. And so I think, like I said, a lot of people build great cars and a lot of people build amazing looking performing cars, but it's how you sell your story and you make, you drive that emotional connection where people like, I gotta have that. And that's what's going to make them wait in line. And that's what's going to make the company come back and go, yeah, we're only doing 30 and it's going to be 4 million. And if you don't like it, kick rocks. It's gotta be your desirable. So,
Do you think that customer is demanding more of the crazy modern high tech supercar stuff, or wanting more of the vintage raw motorsports enthusiast type
I think
car?
the customer at that level, because I have a few customers that are super like billionaire level, like I think at that level they can have whatever they want.
What you market to get to them?
They have the hypercar. They got a couple muscle cars. Like in the case of BR07, our concept is to blend two of those as one, muscle car plus hypercar. But I think that guy, he can have, he has both, so he can have, whatever.
At the end of the day, it's functional art. So just like, art, if it's in your different genres of art, you could have, full-blown modern, full-blown, or impressionist or landscape or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to be like, I'm going to give you a piece of art that's got a little bit of all of those things, right?
Yeah.
Pick the lane, and this is what we built and the reasoning behind it, market it behind it, No, it doesn't have seat heaters. This is not the car for you. If you require, heated seats, then you're not, whatever enough for this car, or whatever, whatever the thing is,
I had a client the other day. He was about ready to kick off a big resto mod project, and he calls me. I'm going to put it on ice a little bit. Okay, what happened? He went to, it's auction season, obviously. He went to auction and bought some Italian stuff and some Ferraris. So in his choice, he could choose whatever. It's a nice position to be into, and sometimes it's frustrating because we get those guys in our industry that they want to build one of the cars that we work on, and it's like, yeah, I want this out of my Koenigsegg, and I want the screen out of my 7 Series, and I want the console out of my. It's like, listen, if you're gonna get a muscle car, great, but get it because that's you want the
muscle car.
You want the virtual the analog aspect of the muscle car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want your hypercar, drive the hypercar that day.
That's kind of where I was going, the volleyball side of things back and forth.
Right.
The supercars have gone so far that there's so many computers and electric this and power adders, and you open the hood or trunk and you can't even tell what's what anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think there's that much more demand now for more of a raw, visceral,
So
tactile, touch
point.
everything?
like, so what the oil stain lab guys and you guys know Sasha? Oh, I should know. I went to school with him. Sasha Slippin. I forget how to say his name. He's building he used to be the designer at Bugatti and Koenigsegg. He's doing his own supercar, and the inspiration is manual, minimal, no electronics, very hardcore, very much like, old school 80s muscle car, Countach vibes. I see that as a trend coming back in the supercar, where hypercars have gotten so much digital and they kind of drive themselves, let's say.
Yeah.
Where I'm starting to see a lot of supercars now going back to like the analog kind of hardcore route. I like that.
You see a lot of stuff on like the Carrera GT and how it's like a driver's car and there's no computers, there's no nannies.
Right.
And it's gone up like, threefold.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of the last cars that's raw.
Problem is you're going to have to bring the horsepower numbers way down.
Yeah.
Because you can't play in hypercar world and be like, oh, guess what? We're doing 2,000 horsepower with no computer-aided assistance and no nannies.
So you don't need it.
Right,
too.
it makes
No,
it
I know.
a more buildable vehicle at that point.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking
I'm just
about-
saying, like the chasing the number thing, whatever. It's going to, it makes 700 horsepower and absolutely no aids and no traction control. Like the stigma, like, dude, this is going to be
gonna kill you.
scary.
Yeah.
Yes, scare. Hold on, right? Because it's not going to be like your
scary.
not going to be like your 1,800 horsepower with your 17 different PTSM settings and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's just a wild time, And I do like that trend of things going back to a more mechanical approach, though.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
It is cool. It just seems like it's always the anti movement. I mean,
it's a pendulum swing.
Yeah, Singer's so successful. I think they've got Porsche is a very it's such an enthusiast back brand. People people that have fucking Porsches have we've got customers that have one of every color.
If you have one, you have 13.
And then that is just such an anti of what the new one is because it's so raw and it's such a driver's experience and it's such a bitchin' car. The one area that I get hung up, which is where we kind of veered a little off that recipe on the Pantera. Mm-hmm. The thing that technology has brought is the DCT and PDK transmissions. That it's a tough one to argue. Realistically, you need both. You need a car with the 6-speed manual, and you need one of those because that experience is so good. You
can't shift it faster.
Right.
Yeah.
And you watch go out to the track and watch cars. And for a guy who's a fucking hell of a wheelman, put a legit race car driver in a car, and he'll put anything around the track. But put a novice driver, a more entry level driver, you're instantly a race car driver when you're banging gear paddles on a DCT or a PDK transmission. And that's where we pivoted on that because this Pantera we're doing, everything's raw. But the one thing that we sort of bowed down to technology was on the DCT transmission. It's sort of the novelty of it because it's
gotten so good.
I hate to say it's a crutch, but it's kind of a crutch. It makes you a hell of a fucking driver, And it's a cool experience. The sound is so cool. The rev matching, the flat shifting. It does a lot of cool shit. That's the one area where I'm hung on it because I'm a very auxiliary guy. I like raw. I want it to smell like fuel, be fucking nasty. But that's the one area where I'm always well.
The speed, the rev matching is if you could, it's not the fact of having to manually shift a gear. If you could manually shift a gear no, I'm just saying if you could manually shift a gear full throttle and never have to hit a clutch and just jam it into gear and that thing would just bang, 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 then yes, but you can't. So enter the DCT.
You can't do it in a civilized manner.
Right.
For long.
Yeah.
But yeah, sequential, but it's violent and it's noisy.
You could do that as long as you got it up and running. It's the getting it up and moving in the first gear part that's difficult in that. So it is kind of like the best of all worlds. And it is, tuned right, done right, and everything working. It's not exactly like it's a slush box. It can be the right amount of drama with the DCT shifting, under throttle to where it's not lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, your car, that's nuts. Yeah. I know that there's the time you're like, man, it'd be nice, I could The only reason
row
is
your own, baby. Row your own.
there's the times of like, man, I'm doing this. It would sure be nice to like hit the clutch, bring the RPMs up so I could kick the ass end around, right? Or do this. But that's the only time where it's like, other than that, it's a.
Yeah, they've gotten so good. It's a better driving experience, or you're not losing anything. I still want the manual just to feel that connection and feel like you're more in tune. But
I know, but I don't know how. I mean, again, back to yours. Like, if you drive that on even at the 60% limit, how would you ever shift? Because there's so much stuff that's going on. Like, it's taking your hand off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a lot. Which I think, you know, to your point, that in the Pantera, like, it's gonna be a lot. You should be.
I mean, Phil's obviously got it figured out because I see him leave the shop here at like 11,000 RPMs, full fucking lock to the right on the back end of the car. It's all the way over this way, and
the tires are cold.
it sounds cool, looks cool.
It's probably a lot easier to smoke too if you just got a paddle.
You know what's the trick? I find that the rapid 1/2 gear shift is tough when the car's loose.
Yeah.
You know, because you're fucking with the wheel and it's like, it's awkward, but
Only on like, on a left or right turn from a red light or whatever,
Right.
and it's like mid thing, and you're like, and then I'm just gonna rev that thing up.
Yeah.
On taking on clients, hot rod builder stuff, you know, on the one-offs of like, I mean, you just did some stuff for Vinny on the Mustang that debuted. Obviously Troy Gudgel BBT. I mean, that Impala was absolutely amazing. It's already done big things, and it's going to continue to do big things. Kind of sick of seeing the fucking car. I mean, I've seen the car for 3 years now in bare metal. Okay, you painted it, cool. It's awesome. It was at SEMA, and now it's at Barrett Jackson.
Troy's just flying.
Stop taking it.
Troy's
Like,
just flying a little too high.
The car's
a little too much success.
The car's a little dated, honestly, at this point, right? I mean,
It's a good fucking.
he
car,
debuted
man.
it last year. Last year. It's already been. It's a year old.
Getting his money worth.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness. So how selective are you on those types of projects as they come in? And what's the thing that blows your skirt up where you will take on a?
I'm pretty open to a lot of things. Right now, like I said, I'm very open to the kind of the smaller volume,
Right.
stuff like that. But like the one-off stuff and like the regular, I don't want to say regular, but like the
Custom cars.
Yeah, it's weird because I like working with the bigger guys, but I also like working with like new younger guys, because you never know when the next young guy is coming up.
At the end of the day, you still just like drawing cars. So
Yeah.
as long as you got the opportunity to draw cars, you're going to do it.
Yeah, for the most part. I think that's one of the things where I'm at. I mean, I like working with new people in the industry because they have new ideas, and it's nice to try to help them develop who they are or where they want to go. I mean, I hate to be like this, but like, you know, like when I first met Mike and Jim, I mean, this is 2004. They weren't Ring Brothers as we know Ring Brothers now.
Right.
And
They were young guys. I mean, when you say as we know them now, they're just old fucking dudes.
I mean, I guess you could connect the dots. I mean, like
back in 2004,
like
Mike,
late 30s.
52. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I missed that layup.
yes.
no, but when I met him, fiberglass street rods were in. Boyd, smoothie look, billet wheels, polished, was in. And I was working at Honda Motorcycles at the time, and I was getting taught from the Japanese side of things that like, don't hide design. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, if there's a fastener, design it. If there's a detail on something, embrace it. Don't, you know, the whole smoothie thing of just hiding everything?
I'm just thinking, as you're saying that,
I know
you
where
talked
you're
about
going.
Honda.
Be careful.
Well,
No,
on the motorcycle
But
side of
you're talking
things.
about reactor. That's, I can see CBR 1000 in the gas.
Well,
Not
we had a very mechanical approach
to show it.
Yeah, to like, but also car design back in those days, like, was, you know, the Audi. If you look at Audi and what they were doing, and like everything had you know what Bauhaus, like form follows function, exposed fastener gas caps, and all that stuff started to come down like Ring Brothers were really early adopters of that. And what I'm saying though is that they were young, they were newer, and it was really entertaining to work with them because we were trying out new things. And the first couple of, I remember Lateral G.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How can I forget?
Yeah, right. And then I mean, there was some battles on there about like these guys are cake decorators and these but we were really disrupting the industry. I mean, we were really trying some new things, and then finally it turned into kind of like the coming into their own design style, really, and that's who they are, and that was exciting. My point is you never know when the next person's going to be that guy.
Yep. The term cake decorator, right? It's gotten thrown around a lot by a bunch of not on this podcast.
Did Jesse coin that term?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesse called it.
Fabergé eggs, man.
A lot of people have been.
He's got away with fucking words.
Yeah. A lot of people have fallen victim, to that from the internet side of things, or whatever, cake decorator. But I've always wondered, like, why. It's probably a poor analogy, right, on the cake decorator, because I understand where they're going with that. Yeah. However, have you ever eaten a cake that was undecorated? Like, when have you ever gotten a cake that's just like, here's cake, eat it. It's a cake. Every cake out there is decorated. It's part of the cake. So they're stylizing the car in the way they're building that car, just like the baking a cake requires decorating the cake.
I think you're missing the point.
The
point is that like you can eat a highly decorated cake that tastes like shit.
Yeah, you don't want to. I'd rather have a cake with no frosting that tastes good.
That's delicious.
Than all frosting that tastes like shit.
Right. I understand that, but that's basically saying that you could make a cake without decorating it. All cakes are decorated, just like all cars have to be stylized. They're all stylized. I understand the negative stigma, and I mean there is. You could just say, "I don't like the cars you're building." Don't try to come up with something
I don't remember the Ring Brothers ever getting any like flack. I feel like everybody sort of admired them and looked up to them when they first.
First couple cars were very.
I mean, they were edgy.
The first couple cars on Lateral G were. I mean, I will tell you this: when we were doing Reactor, I'm not going to say, but there was a lot of people like, let's see, bated breath, what's going to happen here? And when we brought that car to SEMA, we won Ford Design Award, Shine Award. I mean, it really, it was pretty polarizing.
Yeah,
and it was.
I mean, I guess I could see like maybe the argument that. There were guys at that point that everybody's building a race car then, that the car, like those cars had like shock waves on them, and they weren't building them to go fucking set lap records in the good guys autocross. These cars were super well built, super functional, but maybe that was the only thing that the Lateral G crowd could have a attitude about. But
that was my main. But everybody knows Lateral G that was on Lateral G and understood that. To your point, there was a lot of hardcore race stuff. And then it became the pro touring, scene. It was the place where everybody hung out. It was where you showed your builds, and it became a thing.
Yeah, but nobody gave anybody shit for putting an air diffuser in the back of a '69 Camaro that had no belly pan or no aerodynamic study. It was
because that
was cool.
Exactly my point. The people that were giving the most shit to the pro car builders. Have you ever run across them in the last 15 years? But you run across all of the people in this industry doing it at a professional level that got the shit.
Yeah.
All the ones that got given the shit. But I can right now close my eyes and see the handles and the little images for those guys
shout out to Tones 2SS.
Tones 2SS. The Jarhead guy or whatever.
Well, we're talking about Lateral G, and I know the Camaro you've got a big old spoiler on the back of it. I would assume that there's been some aero, like, ideology behind that. It's not just placed there. My point is that I need somebody to do an aerodynamic test, an exercise on a spoiler on the back of a pickup truck, on a tailgate. Does it work? Does it do anything? Why are we putting spoilers on pickup trucks?
Is people put spoilers on pickup trucks?
Yeah,
dude. Like every fucking C10 has got like a big
you mean? But they're racing though,
right?
But that's racing.
But is it doing anything? Is my point.
I don't think the aero comes into like over 100 miles an hour for it to do something.
At
honestly
38
wanna know.
miles
I don't
an hour
wanna-
in
look,
second gear.
I don't want to sound stupid. I know the air in the back of a pickup bed does some weird things.
How is everybody going to know you got a race truck if you don't put a spoiler on it?
Yeah.
Would you know if it was a race truck if you didn't put a spoiler on it?
Stylistically, is
You
not
get
the
the front
question.
splitter with the carbon
Right?
fiber.
Function. I'm looking at function over form on this. Does it do anything? Does it even touch air right there? On the
I don't know.
tail?
I don't know if a C10 would be able to touch
Because
the
the
track
ProNet-
if you
wasn't
didn't
there-
put it on.
there
I
was-
think it would just float off into space.
Back in the day, there was a lot of talk about like you
I think
put a
the ProNet
ProNet
was
on the back.
disproved.
Mythbusters did it.
Mythbusters did. They busted it for fuel mileage because people would put that on or lay their tailgate
Well, what about
down.
if you have a tonneau? And then you have the tonneau and the spoiler.
So that's another case. There's a case to be made for that because now you're.
What if you
now you're
pronounced
getting
it correctly and it was a tonneau? That's what's even crazier. Does that change it? I'm just kidding.
Fucking asshole.
You
You know what we need? Someone needs to do the late 80s, early 90s crew cab big funny car roof spoiler.
Yeah, well, those are to push it over the trailer, right?
Yeah.
But on a pro touring car, I feel like that would work.
Maybe there's probably more air there. Probably more air. But if Mythbusters busted the fact that you lay your tailgate down or take it off and it doesn't affect fuel mileage, that
Did
would
they
mean
actually do
there's-
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would mean-
Mythbusters did a huge.
Well, I think they disproved
it was better with the tailgate up because it like created a venturi and a negative
That's what
negative
happened.
pressure.
In your tailgate. You ever notice like shit comes to the back and then
And hub,
flings
yes.
it to the front? Or,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So the negative pressure was actually a positive instead of it just the drag there.
I guess I don't want to disrespect anybody because I'm sure there's somebody who is going to take this in a disrespectful manner.
Yeah, they're going to. They're going to take it.
I sort of like want to start a movement for no spoilers on pickup trucks.
But what are you going? How are you going to get the air out when you have no wheel tubs on it and you're showing off your cobbled together cantilever rear suspension and you have no bed floor as well?
Right.
How's that air going to come from under the truck and then direct out
Won't it come
without a
out?
spoiler?
If you have a like 5x6 opening, which is the bed,
Right.
Won't it come out? Like,
Yeah,
won't
but
it
it's
just-
got to be once it comes out, it's got to be directed.
okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you have a full bed floor in it and wheel tubs, I think a spoiler is useless. Now, if you have just sheet metal bed sides and no bed floor, and you're showing your chassis, I mean, obviously, you've got to direct that. Yeah.
What about
I mean,
the-
that's Aero 101.
Or at least a gurney flap, right? Like a little gurney flap on the gate.
You know what's also crazy is if you were going to build something with aerodynamics in mind, like why start with a square? Why start with a box anyway if aerodynamics is ever in the question for a race vehicle?
Yeah.
It's a good point. We're not making any friends. Let's move on.
Why start
Been on
now?
a roll.
Why start now?
Getting old and cranky, you know.
That's the way it is. When you're dealing with a new builder, right? It's got new ideas, crazy stuff. How much in the build process do you try to lend advice, even if it starts to get outside the scope of what you're hired to do on designing the vehicle, packaging and whatnot? When it's like, no, lower these size wheels and tires, tuck more in the front, where you're like, hey, it's like it's not going to turn, or
Right.
that you're didn't you say you're running a Hellcat and like this is a CUDA and like we're on the ground, like, but you don't want any hood scoop. Like it's probably going to need a hood
Through
scoop.
that right now.
So physics come into play, and there's the
Hellcats have ruined our industry.
Yeah, they're challenged.
That's a hard
They're
engine
challenged.
package.
man.
Yeah.
and how much pushback are you trying to and knowledge or explaining or
Oh, it happens all the time.
physics or
Professional
size?
arguer.
That's
No, not really. But so I'll come in wherever you need me. Some people are like, I need you to do some renderings. That's fine. I think where I'm strongest suited is when they work with me on a regular basis on the project from inception to finish. I mean, the best projects I've had are the ones where I start from conversation to when the car's, I coordinate transportation on the car getting the central hall, I've done that. And so that involves me having the conversations you're having where, it's no different than working for a car company where the drivetrain's sticking up to the hood. Then I'm going to have to read. Sometimes it's a good opportunity to have some good design. So I'll, if I didn't have those problems, I wouldn't be needed because I wouldn't have to be called in to aesthetically
to solve it.
solve it aesthetically pleasing. But I do have those problems all the time, and sometimes they'll handle it on their own, and I don't know if that's. Sometimes it works out great. Sometimes I'm like, I wouldn't have done it that way. But I think that when the more communication there is, and the more I'm involved, I think the creative communication process is overall better. I think versus like I said, I'll come in at any point, but on that end of things, on the project management type of stuff, it's usually better.
Will you get involved and do like individual component design, not just full rendering?
That's a big part of what I do too. Individual parts, wheel design, hood design. Like I try not to do too mechanical stuff like hinges and stuff like that. But
someone will like design these AC vents and a dash cluster and a center console.
Yeah, I do all that stuff. Like we're doing a big project with Jesus, and man, I'm designing all the suspension parts, and it's got one of your chassis on it, but it's got some stuff we're doing around the gas tank that's crazy. I mean, it's going to be a full type Sloniker type car.
I like him a lot.
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
He's a great guy.
Hell of a good dude.
Incredibly good looking guy.
Yeah, he is.
Striking.
Uncanny resemblance.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
That's so funny.
It's a West Coast feel.
It's like 20 questions here, but we're just firing away speed round. But when you're working with these young builders, I'm very curious, like up and coming young builder who maybe this is his first, maybe this is his second car, maybe this is his first big car.
Yeah.
What's that experience like, and what's his input like compared to rewind like 38, 40 years ago when you started with Mike and Jim Ring, like young Mike Ring came to you.
Hey, dude, he wasn't around when Mike was young.
Yeah, like middle age,
1937.
They weren't designing. He wasn't designing fucking horse-drawn wagons.
Let me rephrase. Middle age
Rome.
Middle-aged Mike and Jim Ring come to you.
It was the Ring brothers and the Wright brothers. They were both
fucking kill us when these
Oh my god, dude, they're gonna get so bummed.
we were blazing that shit up.
Yeah, the sea wasn't parted.
Oh fuck! There should be dates like BRB and ARB. Oh yeah, that was 04. BRB.
I need Chris to do a fucking Wright Brothers inspired Ring Brothers fucking render right now. Where the fucking on Kitty Hawk right there. They're on.
But all right, that was
sepia
good
tone.
Shit. But serious, what's the experience like? Is there a stark contrast from this young dude that shows up today? That is, he got like different ideas, different
last
passion?
generations
Yeah.
old dudes or young dudes.
Yeah, sometimes. It's always nice when you see them. God, it's always.
We're all fucking crying.
It was good.
I know, dude. It's always nice when somebody's trying to, like, they notice everybody's going this way, and they're like, no, I want to go that way. You know what I mean? So that right off the bat is always exciting to be a part of, which is one of the things they were doing, I feel like, at the time.
Yeah.
I get a lot of people that are like, I'm going to do this new thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then you start rambling off the, Nardo Gray. And I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not
Like super modern.
Not going to move the needle with those.
I'm going to build the Camaro that GM would have built this time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right now.
Is there a young guy?
Don't ever say that again.
Any young guy that you can think of that's, just very impressive to you, or somebody you've worked with, up and comer?
Doing some work with that dude in Canada, aren't you? That talented fabricator, Chad, bad Chad. I think he's doing a lot. I'm just trying to get fucking Jeremy.
He's trying to get me. Yeah, he's trying to get me beat up
by bad Chad.
I'm trying to think. God, I got a lot of people right now in the. Bryson from PRD.
Yeah, Bryson.
Yeah,
Bryson. He's been around, but he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
He's a seasoned, skilled dude.
No, he's definitely not like, but like.
You working with him on truck stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing.
He's gonna do some cool shit.
We're doing some stuff together. trying to think. Man, I'm working with a lot of people right now, but it's always nice to work with the young guys, but it's always nice to work with the older guys and kind of learn something and embrace what they've done as well. You know what I mean? So,
Do you think talking about styles and the pendulum swing, street rods coming back?
oh man, that's an interesting one.
Like street rods, or
Street rods.
hot rods.
No, street rods.
Are we talking fiberglass, billet specialties, tweed?
Well, that
I
was
was about to say we got a couple sets of profile wheels.
That was gonna be my next if the smoothie Boydster era was ever gonna come back, but I'm more.
Kugel Muroc at
Did
Grand
you?
National. Like,
Yeah, but a Kugel Muroc's always been beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
That's pretty good looking car.
It's more race and performance inspired than
that's
a
hard.
Boydster.
Like, it's got a lot of
But
nostalgic influence. Like, it's a 32 Ford, right?
but we'll start with
you think more of a coast to coast 37?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Wild rods.
I'm going to start with just the simple. Are street rods themselves coming back? Is people going to start building not traditional hot rod, right? Not talking about fenderless or but just anybody but Wes Rydell going to be building those types of cars.
I would like to see that, but I don't know. I know what I would like to see for street rod and hot rod. I wonder about street rod and hot rod where it's headed. Because I kind of see like the resto mod, the muscle car guy, the guy that had a Camaro. Well, now he's getting a truck. Maybe he's going to get a 964. It's kind of the same guy, right? But the street rod, hot rod guy, by looking at building 4 and stuff like that a couple weeks ago, I don't know. If is 90 is going to come back. Part of me thinks that would be fun, but part of me thinks I don't want that. But I also think like what Rings did, and what was the one car that from Summit Racing, the Quadra-Deuce Coupe?
Oh yeah, do a cross country road trip in a 30s Lincoln. That would be a blast.
That's
It would
cool as
be
hell.
an absolute
I don't-
blast.
I don't
At
foresee
85, 90.
That's not going to be a trend.
It's never going to be a trend. It's just one of those things.
No, it's going
that's
to be a trend. I'm saying
you just want experience. You just want one.
yeah,
You know?
100%.
I think that's one of the things I missed those back. Remember when Hot Rod magazine was really like the Dare to Be Different, when Troy was doing Bumungus and
Yeah.
and it was just like whatever out. I remember when me and my dad, one of the first things we did was a Pro Street 56 Nomad back in it was like 88 or it was a long time ago. I mean, that was really different back then. You know what I mean? And I think that I would love to see Dare to Be Different come back as a style.
Yeah. You are seeing that. I mean, we see it. We have a lift over there that's used exclusively for scanning cars for custom chassis. Mm-hmm. And when you see the things that come through on that lift, because it's got we do so many of them that it used to be that I knew everything coming in.
Yeah.
And now, like, we do a lot of them. So I'm not always in the loop. So I'll walk through the shop and then you'll see it. And the shit that comes through, I mean, you want to talk about Dare to Be Different. There's some wild shit. I think that's alive and well. Mm-hmm. I think
it's just 2, 3, 4 years out.
Yeah, I think you're going to see it because they take some time to build. But every time I see one, I'm like, man, who would do? Well, that's pretty damn cool,
Well, here's my question though: if there is going to be new genres and new things popping up, what about the events that are going to embrace these?
Yeah, where do you showcase that?
Yeah, where do you showcase those? Because like the Porsche community is doing an excellent job. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to Luftgekühlt.
No.
You went to one here, didn't you?
No, there's Checked It Out in Chicago. It's a Porsche only thing downtown.
Yeah. The one in LA.
Wanted to go to Air and Water.
Air and Water's I think it's in March or April.
Yeah, it's coming up.
I mean, they create like an experience that's like the music is and I don't even think there's awards or anything like that. It's just
it's an art expo.
Yeah, it's curated in a way. It's invite only, and the music is great, and the food's great.
So Beach Boys and
no, it's a little bit more on the hipper side of things. That's the thing. It's no lion sleeps the night and compression socks. And, that's a big.
Good.
What shows have you been to?
Oh, you know what
addition.
shows I've been to. Yeah, like
Nice pull.
yeah,
so comfortable.
They start leaving at 3:30 to get the early bird special.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at some point though, some of the events got to be created to open up this. I think these new cars. I don't know. That's just something that I wonder to myself when I go to some of these events.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say you touched on something that I share that vision with.
Compression socks?
Well, no. I mean, I do get a kick out of compression socks. Yeah. The race rods. That's always, since early on. I mean, we've got a car that a customer bailed on probably in like 2007, something like that. And it's sitting out in the trailer. The guy just disappeared. And that was the concept. Like, it was cantilever. It was a 32 Ford, cantilevered front suspension, cantilevered rear, long, Indy style looking A-arms. And it was, all dialed up. It was going to be like full blown, that fat tires on the front. And at the time, it wouldn't have been executed to the level where it would be like, where it would really drive like a performance car. But in today, and with the chassis technology and the aftermarket parts, like, you can really build some rad shit.
Right.
And what better than like a short wheelbase, wide track width, open wheel, lightweight, fat tired car? Like, there's so much cool shit to do, and you don't have all like the packaging constraints. You just let things like hang out there, like
Wherever they are, they are. You don't have to cover them with anything.
Really dig that, and I wish people would sort of get into that. And it's all about the driving experience. I mean, imagine getting in like a 103-inch wheelbase car that it's basically a square.
That was
It's as
95-inch wide.
Yeah, it's as wide as it is long.
Yeah.
With like and like, I mean, a fucking turbo 4-cylinder with a sequential gearbox or something. Maybe it's all-wheel drive. Like, there's a lot of neat stuff you could do there. And then the styling, like for guys like you, that opens up a whole new genre of cool shit to design.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think just making the drivability there too. And that's another thing I see is maybe it's not taking it to event. Maybe it's just you're driving the hell out of it and you're doing YouTube videos and you're doing, what I mean? That seems to be the thing right now.
But talking about the event thing, like as you're talking, the event, I'm 100% with you. We talked about this internally for a long time. There's a lot of things that need to be happened and influx and injection and all that. And you're talking about these performance, hot rods.
Yep.
In my mind's going to like the same thing. It's like, well, that's cool. You're going to be able to, the driving experience is first and foremost. But as we all know, like the trend has to be set and the event needs to be made. And there's like, needs to be a reason to like go do it, short of just doing it by yourself on the weekends. Right.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if you could do something stateside, like a Goodwood, right? That was going to be, an event that had like a little. It doesn't have to be
of more modern.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a autocross. It doesn't have to be, But there's a hill climb. There's a thing like that. That's like, let's all just line up and hear it fucking run and see what it fucking does, and then we're gonna hang out the rest of the weekend and do some shit. Like that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you would have a thing to be like, let's go show this at this event.
And no spoilers on pickup trucks.
Well, it depends on how fast they're going. I mean, we already talked about that. Like, it's
You can do
a
the
race
tech inspection.
Yeah.
All
A
the
race
good
truck.
things that start,
You're onto something there, man.
all the
That'd be
good
cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All the good events that start, they start very grassroots type of thing, I mean, is it Born Free, right?
Oh,
Yeah, locally.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember how small it was?
I used to go to the small ones in Orange County and Moon Eyes and stuff like that when they were just
Born Free had 150 people there the first one.
and now they're like.
But
I
now
don't
it's
go
funny
now.
how the
It's
pendulum
massive.
swing. But because
Yeah.
Born Free, all the people that were like hardcore Born Free and was doing the builders, stuff like that, the first 5, 6, 7 years. Now it's all for fucking celebrities. I don't do Born Free anymore, because it's became such a big thing.
It became such a big thing.
Huge
and now
thing.
you have like
Brad Pitt's walking around.
fans sponsoring it and
Yeah.
skateboard Baker Skateboard or whatever, and
It's a Coachella of motorcycles.
yeah, exactly.
It is.
Yeah, that's like King of the Hammers. Is, what did I say the other day? King of the Hammers is the Burning Man for
off-road. It is.
Yeah, you see the amount of fights and everything that are going on out there.
I want to experience it because of just the spectacle. I just want to go and be a spectator and I know how I'm relating it to Talladega, NASCAR,
Sure.
infield, and I know how fun that spectacle can be, and I just want to go and experience what
Casey
that.
Curry said to come out there.
I know we just need to do it. We just need to do it, but we got to get. It's just like a lot. We got to get a
grew up-
motorhome
I
out
grew up
there, and we
about
got to
20
go.
miles
We take
from
a
there.
year off.
Did
and
you really?
do all the
So I
actual
feel like my
shows.
whole life
Shot show.
I don't know a lot about it. Like we were just talking about this with Roger because Roger's into off road stuff, and it's just a genre of vehicle that I'm not real in tune with.
Yeah.
But
it's
I mean,
just-
I catch it. Obviously, I'm not.
It literally is a
numb
Burning
to
Man.
it. Is it really?
It's
It's crazy. But the amount of engineering, like, so
nuts.
you guys know Rob from RJ Fab? He built the Jeep.
yeah. He built the Jeep, and he's building something right now.
He does a lot of really extensive, crazy
You know,
luxury pre-runners.
yeah, you would know Rob
I'm
from
sure if
RJ
I
Fab.
saw
So I grew up in the high
I'm just bad
desert.
with names.
And he lives down the street from my parents right now, his shop and his house and everything. And we see him go on test drives and everything he does, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, that thing's sick.
yeah.
That is going to this truck right here. That truck, it's actually eligible now. We're Good Guys and Roadster Shop. We're announcing the
Oh, big news.
4x4 of the Year award now. So
Oh,
they've
nice.
added to the top 12. So
Oh,
now there's a
really?
4x4 of the year.
That's awesome. That's been
I'm talking
really
about
well-
events
yeah.
and giving
See, I
a
like to
reason
see
to
that.
go do things. Yeah.
I like that.
That's what you call a circle back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
is that what
that's
that
what we
is?
call it in the industry.
Okay.
That's what
You got any cool 4-wheel drive stuff you've been designing? I haven't seen much from you for 4-wheel drive stuff.
you working with Bryson right now on 4-wheel drive, right?
Yeah, doing some stuff with him. Yeah, doing a lot of stuff with him, actually. And doing a really crazy two-door Bronco with Jason from Fat Fender for SEMA. That's pretty wild.
What's your beef with Eric Black? I thought
Oh, dude.
you like that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I
We've
like
I
like the dude. He's super cool.
We've pumped Eric Black so high up, and we've also beaten him so far down on this podcast.
Yeah, that's the cool part of when you get that talented. Just the accolades are soon followed with absolute just destroying. Yeah, I mean, he was like. He said something like he liked you, but then you were talking a bunch of shit or something.
He
like that. I
mumbled
just
something
didn't
under
know.
his breath, too.
Yeah,
where
he
he's
was like, "Fuck that Sean Smith dude" or whatever. I don't know. I'm
I'll
just
tell you, that line goes around the block. So. Yeah. He's just, take a ticket, buddy.
Oh man, I'm just giving you shit. It's funny to.
Now, Eric's a good guy.
It's amazing how we were talking about this downstairs.
Yeah.
The some of it's maturity, right? Some of it's just as you age, right? You get
Those
all
are
of
two
us.
different things. Maturity.
Yeah, we've
and
aged.
aging.
We've aged. We
There's
just have the
minimal
maturity.
in
The
this
maturity
industry.
part just hasn't settled in yet.
Right. As you age, you are maturing, right? Some at different levels. But we talked about the lateral G days, and everybody puffing their chest out. We were talking about previous days of egos and how much of stuff that we see that run rampant through, the car builders and different stuff. We were talking about it. We've talked about it a lot. We're probably beating it to death, but we came back from SEMA this last year, and we did a couple of shows, and what we talked about was the feeling of like it's so nice to feel like everybody's, on the most part, like who you talk to, the peers, the people you respect. The egos are like for the most part gone, at least in the circle, right? It's so fun to be able to have. It's not even competition anymore. It's just enthusiasts and professionals, right? To have, and you have that in the designer world, right? We have that in the car build world. It's like there's enough out there for everybody. We're all just happy to be doing what we're doing and be able to have thick enough skin to give everybody fucking shit.
Speak for yourself. I play the keeps.
Fuck them all. Fuck them
I'm
all.
kidding, I'm kidding.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I get you. Yeah, I think the industry is actually evolving to a point where there's enough meat on the bone for everybody's talents to get kind of shared with these people, with the world of custom car building, and we got a lot of talented designers. Eric's one of them. Gary's amazing.
Yeah.
Davis. I'd actually like to see more of a collaboration between us as designers. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask you that.
That's
Yeah,
one
I
thing-
would love to do that.
that's
Could
one
that
thing
work?
One thing I've never seen.
I would,
in our
I would
industry.
love to, like, for Gary
do it like OE style
Gary
and
to
put them in the room
Gary
and
Gary to do an exterior, and I work on the interior. I mean, that kind of happened on Marshall's CUDA, like Gary did the exterior, I did the interior. I mean, but I would love for the project to, from the inception, be like that. You know what I mean?
Would you guys be able to be on the same page from design language and you steer?
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
or does it matter? Like doesn't the greatness also come from the conversation through the disagreement and then working through the next?
Yeah. I think part of the communicating process, whether it's communicating through the sketches or just kind of getting together and verbally processing stuff with the client and the builder. But I mean, that's the way it's done in the studios. Very rarely, I mean, is it one designer that designs the whole thing, and it's he does exterior, but then this guy did the interior. This guy did. It's a whole team of people: digital modelers, clay modelers, engineering. You really have to share the creativity, and so I don't think it's any different.
I'm wondering if this doesn't happen more than what we all know, though, because every couple of years you see those cars that debut that you're like, they probably had 5 different designers on that one.
Like, what do you?
Like, there's just some cars that you see and you're like,
yeah, I know.
Look at the front and then look at the back, and then also look inside.
Yeah, okay, you're saying that not in like a good way, right? Is that what you're?
Well, yeah. Okay. I'm glad you read through that.
Yeah, I picked up what you were putting down, dude.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Yeah.
It was.
Well,
funny how
we were talking about this just the other night about how as builders we've all sort of identified a lot of guys' talents and everybody sort of picked their lane, and where years ago it's like, dude, you had to do it all yourself. You're like, fuck that guy, we're competing with that guy, not using him, he's not using him. There's this animosity.
Yeah.
And now it's like you identify the guys who are the best at like that aspect of building the car, and we've got cars that we're outsourcing paint work to Dutch Boys and Goolsby, and it's like, dude, that's their craft. Like they've really excelled at it. And I just wonder, like, as you're talking through the design side, and you sort of brought it up, is there like, who's the dude that you're like, man, that fucking Eric Black, the way he can do an interior, like his vision for
tattoos,
an interior, and just like general, just like wardrobe style, like distressed leather jackets, and like like tattoos and stuff.
Yeah, like cool borderline trying too hard.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, as the builders, if the builders can identify that, it'd be interesting to see the designers, because you don't see a lot of collaboration with that. Like, would there be a situation where you'd be like, that'd be cool to like collab with Chris Gray on this deal, and like, man, if you could get like, that's a little more Eric style, like on the wheels, or like, and sort of build this dream team.
The biggest thing that I'm focusing on right now for this year, starting now, it's actually a reason why I'm taking the class with Troy and Roger.
This is breaking news right here on the podcast.
Maybe, no, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to grow. I only have 2 arms. I'm getting older. I'm in car design. We have this saying, as a designer, you move off the boards. Meaning, if you work for a car company, you're designer, senior designer, chief designer, and then eventually you're like design director level, where you're
project manager. Then,
yeah, exactly. And it's kind of, I would like to share my experience with more people, more industries, more projects. But there's only one of me and 2 arms, and so now I'm getting to the point where I'm already working with several different people. I'm actually already working with some other designers. I'm already working with 3. I got 3 digital modelers that I work with. I work with 2 color and trim designers that are helping me develop color and materials. Brenda from Nissan, she lives in San Diego too. I mean, so I'm kind of building a little ecosystem of a team here where I can stand back horizontally and kind of direct and not be behind. It's hard giving up the drawing, but at some point I'm going to have to ease off the throttle on the drawing and trust that to somebody.
Yeah.
Make bigger decisions, fly here, fly there. It's hard because I've been, that's really hard for me right now, is to not draw so much.
So every hot rod shop owner started building and have grown into
and you got it.
But
I think it would be absolutely amazing as we're talking through this, and it makes so much more sense, especially with you and designers that have had OE experience, because you're used to the collaboration process. And and what that kind of works like, you know, where it's, you know, you've got this section to this section that's then also having to work with this section. So it's not, you know, traditionally in hot rod car design, it's kind of like, I drew it this fucking way. It's your job to figure out how to make it, right?
Just like that.
And don't come to me with a problem like collaboration. So it'd be very interesting with how that collaboration process, and probably I would have to imagine the end result would be that much better, because it would be a collective of the talents.
It always is. As much as,
like you said, you got a guy that can handle a dash like nobody else. Nobody can even touch him on that. You know, other stuff, and then textures, and then finishes. And
I have a couple projects right now where I didn't even design the car. I'm just doing the CAD.
yeah.
That's fine. I don't care. People are, well, you didn't draw it. That's fine. You know, we'll do the A-side servicing for you. You know, and like I said, our job is to help builders and companies, clients, communicate ideas, get them out of the head, make them so we can all make money, get it shipped, and move on to the next one. That's our job. Is there times when, you know, ego comes into play, we get a little more passionate in it, and we're, oh, it's my idea, and I don't want it, it's not supposed to be like that? Sure. But I think it's getting now less of that, because where I would like to start moving my business is less on being on the 2D work, but more on just really streamlining. Like, you need valve covers. Okay, boom. I'm going to do the sketches. Here's a few sketches. Then we get it straight into CAD, scan it, CAD. And, you know, we'll even handle the machining of it, you know, and project managing of that. And, you know, like you told me, you guys do some of the machining down here, but sometimes you guys have other people help you, like Sean or Evod or whatever. Yeah. And I help do that too. Right? Builder will call me, hey, can you go design the wheel and work with Sean on it? Because I'm really not a problem. A to Z, I'll do that. You know, well, I didn't do the sketch, you know, but that's fine too. Just who did the drawing? So-and-so. If I got a question, I'll talk to him. I'll show him. I could even show him the drawing. He can approve it. But our job is to make the client vision his dream, and you guys communicate the ideas.
If we're all getting finished vehicles in customers' hands that are better and they're faster, then we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing.
These guys are. It's not that these deadlines are getting any. They're getting pretty aggressive right now. You know what I mean? So as long as people do it my way, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. I get it.
What's the way to wrap that up?
I think the collab,
Nice bow on it.
right?
Yeah, right.
The collaboration, it's beneficial ultimately for the finished product and the customer. You know, it's like I was thinking through this as you're talking, you know, and I was thinking of all the derogatory things I could say about you. But what I would say is, like,
You were thinking about them?
Yeah.
Or you had them wrote down?
Well, I was
already?
thinking about him as how I'm going to deliver this.
That's his show prep.
Yeah, but I would say, like, I can't tell you how many times there's been something that I've been so deeply vested in and, like, very passionate about, and then he'll walk over and be, you know, just looking at it, like, you know, he's got a certain way of delivering it, right? That's not a great.
I could probably be better. I could probably be better at that.
The evolution of it, like what he brings that I overlooked, like just from an outsider's view, from somebody that like hasn't been like I'm vested, I'm like wrapped up in this thing, right?
It's a zoom lens.
Yeah, for somebody to walk in and then see something that I didn't see and lend that idea or expertise, it's 95% of the time it's beneficial, right? And it moves it in a better direction.
Yeah, it's always nice to have another eye.
Yeah.
That was something nice you said.
Mark that one down, dude.
Yeah.
Write it on the like the AC.
I'm going to.
The Sharpie.
145 into the Sean Smith episode.
One of the
I'm gonna get it fucking tattooed on me.
One of the downsides to being on my own and only like is when you work in a car design studio, you walk in and you got 30 other people that, you know, you have these critiques and design reviews, and you know they could bounce things off of you. Like, it's nice to see. You know, I saw Chris today and walk in his studio, and it'd be nice to walk in every day and be like, "What do you think?" Dude, that sucks. Yeah, you're right. Okay, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't get that a lot. It's, you know, I have my own studio, my home studio, and I think a lot of us work similar in this industry. And that's actually one thing I'm kind of thinking about doing, is trying to like actually bring in more people and getting a small brick and mortar, and so I can have an environment and build an ecosystem where we can communicate ideas every day. That's actually
we
what I
need
wanna
to do like a 3-day summit here.
Summit or retreat? What
you call it a retreat?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, bring in a group of folks, you included, and just have that back and forth on a few things and see what shakes out at the end.
Yeah.
Don't you think that'd be if
cool.
nothing else, it would be a lot of fun.
I mean, there's a particular project that we're working on that I think I'm pretty passionate about, that I know Chris is pretty passionate about. It would be interesting to see what some outside people like thought or could lend a hand on, that would like, because you
even talking through it
tunnel vision
is part of the conversation. Like that's where it's like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? That I think that would be very, very beneficial.
Yeah.
Like, dude, imagine.
Here it comes.
I'm going to make up for what I just did. But imagine if I was just like, sitting on your couch.
Don't do this. I'm just telling you right now.
The other day,
I'm telling you right now.
Had the ability to be like,
it ain't over yet.
I'm
So
sitting
don't
there
do this.
just having a whiskey, watching something on TV, and I could have just like the proximity of where it is to your bedroom. I could have just been like, and be like, dude, take those off. Maybe just maybe throw the Chuck Taylors back on, and that's it. The finished product, we would have had a much better finished product than the moon boots, right?
The what?
We have a moon boot situation that he showed up in the other day at my house. I'm still struggling with it. Lindsay was fucking dying today when I sent that message. Absolutely dying.
Wait, what are moon boots?
Yeah,
I know what moon boots are from my childhood.
Yeah,
same one.
That's the
Adult
same
version.
Yeah, the
They're
same
fucking
thing.
snow boots, right? We live in the Midwest. We have
We
snow
don't
boots.
live on the moon.
No, I know.
No,
Yeah, that's
they're
my point.
They're snow boots.
But-
They're like everybody else's snow boots.
But dude, if think
But
about,
they're
wouldn't
with
that have
joggers.
been beneficial?
I wore them with joggers.
It would have been because it would have been so simple for me to just be like, I'd throw the Chuck Taylors on.
Were they like the furry ones at Dumb and Dumber when he gets the Lamborghini?
They're not furry, but they're like big. They're
They're
big,
just snow.
tall.
They're snow boots.
Yeah.
They're just standard snow boots.
I don't think they're standard snow.
Are they
boots.
They're the same size snow boot that
No, it's
anybody
not a
else would buy
Sorel.
snow
It's not a
boots. They're
Sorel.
just snow boots.
Yeah.
I agree to disagree.
But
You're
am
from
I-
Alabama. You don't know a
Yeah.
lot about snow boots. So
Right. It's understandable.
It's-
Dude, it's
yeah.
understandable. It's you don't know.
I remember when I
don't
showed
know.
up the first time to Wisconsin. I was, first time some cold weather and everything. I showed up with a puffy jacket, and I still get teased about that puffy jacket. I'm like,
those are tough in this.
Yeah,
I don't get
puffy jackets.
yeah, the puffy jacket.
Puffy jackets don't fly around
What's
here.
wrong with a puffy jacket? I don't get it.
I just, yeah. So
The Midwest is stuck in their fucking ways. They have no idea what the outside
We know how
world
to handle
looks
the
like
cold.
in the
You
fashion.
know how to handle the cold. X amount of inches of snow before you put any sort of a boot on.
I-
Moon
Over a
boot,
certain age, you
like
don't
a
wear
moon
a
boot.
certain
It's
boot.
like probably but never put those on. But
Dude, there's the best thing about this is you're never gonna have to see him again.
That works.
yeah, and at the end of the day, if that's what comes out of this, then this is a success.
It will be an absolute raging success for you.
oh jeez.
Raging success.
But you see what I mean? How we apply that to like a design?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Conference or
the niceness,
retreat.
the niceness.
Yeah, if everybody got
just
together-
didn't work with your body. You rejected the niceness,
But,
and
now
your
apply-
your
right.
vileness had to cover up the niceness with being mean.
Okay, apply that to car design, right?
I don't really care to anymore.
Somebody's in their room, their studio. Pretend the studio's like your bedroom. That they're in there by themselves, doing this all alone with no outside influence. And sometimes you just need somebody to come in to be like, "Nah, dude, I don't know." And if you did that before that car got debuted, it would make it a better finished product. And also
But at the same time, I think you have to have the ability to
stick to your guns.
take the ideas as the client or the business owner or whatever. Sometimes I do say design is a dictatorship, not a democracy, because sometimes when you get too many ideas,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's plenty of bad ones out there.
Design
you
by
get
committee.
Hey,
Yeah.
what about
Yeah.
and you're like, oh
we could also do, or what if we did?
yeah,
You know what would be cool?
right. And then some,
Yeah.
and especially when it's like those like month before SEMA and you need to make a design call. Sometimes it's just like shut the fuck up and let's just get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we've all been there. So but overall, that's kind of like for the future. It's not like what type of car I want to work on or who I want to work with. I'm working with some great people. I'm working on some amazing projects. A lot of, I can't talk about much. It's more about how I want to start working differently. I think that's, I just turned 48 Wednesday. Yeah.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. And so it's
I'm
like
1 year right behind you.
Huh?
I'm right behind you. 1 year behind you.
Yeah. And so it's like design's always been considered kind of like a young man's game. And then you get to a point where you're getting older and like, how can you share what you've learned with other people, And I think that's kind of where I'm headed, not that my day, I feel like I got a lot of good cars ahead of me and stuff like that, but this time, 10 years from now, do I still want to be drawing cars? I don't know.
You care to teach at all?
I used to teach.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to teach at Art Center, and I do a lot of mentoring too with other people that are trying to be aspiring like car designers, and I do a lot of that. Yeah,
That's
I used to teach at Art Center, and man, I'm a jerk as a teacher, but. Actually, most instructors at Art Center are pretty hardcore. I mean, you get your sketches ripped off the wall, and you guys ever heard of Harry Bentley Bradley?
No.
Oh, he's an amazing car designer. He taught Chip.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to be at GM, and then he was one of the early people at Hot Wheels that adopted, like he did Twin Mill and Diora and all those big cars, and amazing sketcher. Like he can sketch better. Like he'll come up to you, like if you were drawing, he'll sketch upside down and fix your drawing and sketch it upside down better than like what most people. He's just an amazing drawer. But he was I forget what he had, but he was mental and I think he had to walk with canes, and he would take the canes and tear your sketches off the wall. So yeah, it was pretty bad. So, but a lot of instructors, yeah, they're pretty hardcore at Art Center. I mean, I think there's time where kids start putting their work up, and it's like, no, don't even bother. But take it down. Well, I mean, too, it's like there was an old model, like if they assigned you 30 renderings and you did 27, then you had to do those 3 plus the next week's assignment, and then if you didn't finish those, you went down a letter grade. So. Art Center's like $20,000 a semester. So, if you have a
motivation.
Yeah, exactly. It gets real expensive if you don't do your homework. So, yeah, I mean,
wow.
They teach you right off the bat. Like by the time the instructor walks in the room, you got to have everything up, lined up. And then you go through, you count everything. And if it's not there, it's like, okay, where's your other 3? And you're like, well, I didn't get it done. They're like, all right, next week I want 6 more plus the homework. So it gets pretty serious right off the bat. Yeah.
Not a lot of social life.
None.
Prepares you for a fucking career.
Yeah.
Coming from the OEM world to meet deadlines.
Exactly. I mean, so you have class every day from 8 to 10. You take a break for lunch, and then you take a break at 5 for dinner. And then you do your studio classes during the daytime. And then at 5 to 10, you do your academic classes. And then Sunday's the only day you have off. And then you got to figure out how to do all your renderings, your artwork, your clay modeling, everything. It's brutal. It's really crazy brutal. So I think you average about 2 to 4 hours of sleep going through Art Center.
Shit.
And there's been times where I've went a week and a half, no sleep.
That's when you start seeing the crazy shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the Gruyère's cheese level as we check.
Art Center, the campus is on a hill, and there's always some kid that runs to a fire hydrant or I mean, it's wild.
Yeah,
but
chupacabras come out then. That's when
I
go
will,
for that long.
I mean, that's Chips that way. I mean, I will say then it's no different than what we do now. I mean, SEMA, it's like, it's a cakewalk. You know what I mean? I could breathe. Deadlines are deadlines. I think it's just the car industry in general is kind of like that. I mean, we're all trying to top the competitors, but you're really just trying to top yourself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so.
Or even just hold up to your word.
Yeah.
You said you're going to debut it. You told the customer. You told, the show. You told this. You did that. Like,
yeah.
That's what you said was going to happen. Now it's like there is no, you know what? A little tired. Hadn't had sleep in a few days. I don't think we're going to make it. That's not an option.
Yeah, I mean, that's
next year you got to bring 3 plus what you're going to bring.
Exactly.
Be good punishment.
There's 2 serious car design schools in the United States for car design: Art Center, and then you guys know CCS, Center for Creative Studies. That's where Craig Metros.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
those are the 2 serious car design schools where if you're graduating from those schools, you're getting to no disrespect to all the other ones, but I mean those are the ones that are like pretty top tier. Yeah.
So with these two schools, we don't really see that much of it, but is there another wave of younger car designers that's going to be hitting our industry or currently is that we haven't seen yet? I feel like there's been like the 10 staple guys that have kind of 10, 15 years.
You mean in hot rod design?
In hot rod world, yeah.
So there is younger guys coming up. I don't know if, like I said, I wouldn't say if they're younger. Like, I mean, they're definitely
newer to the industry.
Yeah, a lot of the digital guys that are experiencing, like, who is it? Kaisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kaisa's doing
awesome
great
stuff.
things. Andreas is his name?
Yeah, I've seen. He does
Works with
this-
Chris Ruffian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some cool stuff.
Yeah, he's amazingly talented. Yeah, and he started doing manual drawings, and now he's switched over to 3D work, and that stuff's really great. And I don't know if you guys saw the Cadillac F1 car
Yes.
that debuted at Super Bowl,
Yes.
which looks very. So he did a Cadillac. It's like a 1974 sedan.
I saw it. I thought it was awesome.
It's rad. Yeah, it's super
I thought it was
sick.
cool as
But
shit.
It's black and white graphics with the Cadillac script.
It's like your cliche, just big Cadillac done in it, right?
He did that car like a year ago.
Fucking
and
awesome.
The Cadillac F1 car looks very similar to the graphics on that car.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything, and I know he's not, but I will, it's just.
Inspiration's inspiration, right?
Exactly. I mean, we're all looking at the internet,
It all goes out there in the ether.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's thought about or it's subconscious, it's just what it is.
Yep. But there's a lot of guys that are, it's weird. I mean, it's like, it's an Instagram thing. All these these guys are looking.
I was going to ask if that helps or hurts because it's almost now.
I don't know.
Most of the cars don't get built. It's just
Well, they're not even designing for a client.
They're just social. It's like is it a social media thing or is it like a lot of the guys that are doing serious cars that are out there in the world that are on the road, they don't have as big a following as the guys that, have 200,000-300,000 followers, So I think there's a question like, do you want to become a social media guy or do you want to be, or can you do both? I think Andreas does both, So there's a lot of new young guys coming up. It's weird. Going through the design schools though, I don't see a lot of, I don't know, disrespect to people that are into car design school right now, but it's the AI thing. And I just see a lot of kids that are, a lot of things are looking the same, going through car design school. A lot of cars are looking the same. And
yes, at most OEM, it's hard to even tell what's a
Toyota,
Ford.
Exactly.
Just egg on its side, 4 doors.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
where are you at with the AI situation? Do you embrace it? Do you use it?
I'm not one of these people that are like hardcore no. I think we have to monitor it and evaluate it ethically. I think it's something to worry about a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I do use it sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I don't do it to just be like, 69 Camaro rendering and then charge the client. It's nothing like that.
Of course.
But is it a way to kind of like filter out different ideas and stuff? A little bit but here's the thing. I started out drawing old school markers and paper, and then Photoshop came around and I was like, I'm never doing that. I'm going to be the last one to adopt that, which I was, and that hurt me. And then CAD came around and I'm never going to do that. I'm going to be the last one to adopt that. I'm going to be the last guy. Let everybody else figure that out. And I was, and it hurt me. And now this is coming around, AI's coming around, and I'm like, I don't want to be behind it.
Yep.
I don't want to be in front of it, but I also don't want to be the last adopter of it either. So, if you're a fabricator and you said no to machining in the 90s and you see some guy like Boyd blow by you, that's technology kind of doing its thing, right? So, I don't know. It's a little too early to tell. Unfortunately, it's hard to have that attitude when it's dramatically changing by the day. Yeah, it's doing some crazy stuff, but
Almost like it's like alive.
Yeah,
or
100%. But at the end of the day, I actually there's a large part of me too that thinks that it's kind of pulling back and people are already getting tired of it a little bit. That's why I'm trying to put more emphasis on the CAD in getting the part in your hand versus is it going to diminish the need to two-dimensionally do hot sketches? Yeah, a little bit, probably. But you're still going to need somebody to take some form of sketch, whether it's AI or not, and get that done in CAD.
Yeah.
And get that in your hand. And that part of it, I don't see. You know what I mean? It's safety reasons and ergonomics and yeah, I don't see that going that way anytime soon. Personally, I think you're going to need a human touch on it. So I think it's going to change the way we do process. Is it going to scale back 2D design? Yeah, a little bit. Is it going to speed up the process of getting that billet steering wheel one off in your hand? Yeah. Yeah. So
it does. It seems like it's a really good tool to validate or dismiss ideas pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Like rather than spending all the time on something, like if you're just curious about it, like it'll pump out something that's a visual representation of that.
Right.
It's never, I don't know where the future will go with it, but I don't foresee it being something that's going to deliver the car that you're going to build.
Yeah.
You know, you're set out to build a $500,000 vehicle and you're going to punch that in, you know, you're going to prompt AI and you're literally going to build the car that it pumps out. Like you can prompt it to do a lot of cool things and it sort of gives you ideas and you can say, I don't like that. I think it steers the direction of that because you can say, I didn't like that. I like that. Let's go this direction and then design.
It's also lazy and doesn't listen.
Yeah.
It's always just trying to cut a corner. It's just
right.
What about this? I'm like, pay attention.
Yeah.
I absolutely said don't do that,
Just quit
and you
fucking
did
with
it
it.
anyway. Yeah. So don't change this section. This is what I'm asking for.
It's probably saved all designers a shitload of time of, can I see that in red? Can I see that in green?
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I remember one time I was working at a trade show booth and I needed a back wall image. I can't say what it is, it's confidential, but the back image they wanted, I couldn't find, and I threw it in AI and made it high res, and it worked out perfect. You know what I mean? So things like that. I mean, it's just, but like, yeah, I think you got to watch it because I do have clients that come to me and they're like, I did all these AI renderings. What do you think? And I'm like, well, I think we know what not to do.
Yep.
You know, and some of the things are like, there's something there. Okay, let's take that and I'll develop that a little bit more. But you know, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. I've tinkered with it and it gives you like tiny little ideas and tiny little profiles. Like you might take a little, 4x4 square of something that looks okay. And it just gives you the idea that like, yeah, okay, let's sort of kind of use that when we design it. But
Right.
I've never seen it deliver something that's just like, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, because ultimately it's not designing. It's just
taking
cobbling
ideas,
together
right. Just cobbling.
images
Yeah,
that's out
things
there
that
and
exist,
putting in
right.
the stuff together. So it's
handy to just like quickly validate things, like get it out there and just prove, because you got all these crazy ideas running through your head and you can instantly know that, well, that one sucks. That one might carry a little weight. Let's pursue that. Let's go that direction.
right.
I remember I was talking to Dave Merrick. He's another designer. He's one of the design directors at Honda. He does a lot of freelance for Top Fuel drag car, like layouts and graphic design. Yeah, amazing designer, amazing dragster stuff he does. And he was doing some stuff for Napa, and he was like, I was doing this flames and stuff, and I needed a little bit more, and he threw an AI and got like 25 more, so it works, and so I think in small doses and same thing with me. It's the same type of thing. It's how I use it. But like, yeah, just sitting down and going, okay, this is, 32 Ford road race car. And then that's what it is. No.
Yeah.
No.
You don't think?
Yeah.
We'll come to standard questions time.
I forgot about these.
Yeah. You came, I don't like you
I
coming
hope you're
prepared.
prepared.
I mean, we're going to throw a wrench in the system then.
Okay.
All right. First up, standard questions. We're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to mix up the order. No budget. Car that you would have built and who would build it? And you can't say Troy.
No.
Everybody's used up Troy this year.
This is an interesting one from a designer.
I know. Could be anything.
Probably. I know what I would do. This is weird. It's getting real weird.
Cool.
65 Riviera.
Okay.
Astro Supreme,
Yes. Oh, you're speaking my language.
late, early lowrider, like maybe True Spoke style.
Yeah. Bellflowers.
Ring Brothers.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Really weird because I feel like there's some weird things with paint. Like I would want to do it. Like I still feel like there's a style of like pro touring and low riding that can cross over, like pro low.
I think all of us are.
Like I
Prolo's a
feel
great name.
Prolo.
Prolo.
yes.
Yeah.
Start a forum. Yeah, no, like,
Prolo.com.
I feel like that would be interesting. Like, I mean, I think if you like European car, no, there's too much. I mean, that stuff's hot right now. But like, I personally love 65 Riviera. My friend Daniel showed up. He's got one in San Diego. That's like silverish
I
blue
dig
on
it.
Astra Supremes bag. It's sick. I mean, I looked at it Wednesday night, and it's just like I still love that car. You don't really have to do anything, but like if there's some way you can pull off like a 15-inch Astro Supreme, but make it more modern, I don't know.
Honestly, Astro and Pinner Whites, like
Yeah,
you put them on anything. Put them on an Astro van, and it looks cool. Like,
The timing on this is crazy because I'm big into the training day car, 79
really?
Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
But I want to do it like I always try to think about like how would I build it to like I love lowriders. I've always loved lowriders.
Yeah.
But the reality of like enjoying driving a lowrider, it's probably not a great car to own, and it's probably going to burn your garage down.
Yeah.
So like, what would you do with it? And if you put like Dayton's on it, if you put Astro Supremes on it, like man, I don't know, they're little pizza cutters.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really going to be fun with like a 430 horse LS3? And then you start
yeah,
thinking,
it would be.
well, then I said, it's like,
It's
maybe
gonna
put a
look cool.
little more power to it. Man, I wonder if you could just put like a little tire on that, like a little more tire, if that would work,
Yeah.
like Astro Supreme, little white line, but if you had like a little contact patch,
Or
can't
maybe
get
you
too
build
crazy.
a lowrider with a little bit wider. I don't know. See, that's the opportunity right now with design we're talking about. Like that's a conversation that would be interesting.
245 is plenty enough tire.
Yeah.
Just be careful. Don't be fucking acting stupid. Just
Just let it be what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think
You don't have to do hydraulics, but
Yeah.
it's the tires like
Tires make it. I feel like that you got to be able to do 3-wheel on it, but then it's going to drive like shit.
Yeah.
I think something like that. It definitely would be Riviera.
Riv's cool.
Yeah. But what's weird with me is as much as I do this and I help everybody else with their projects, everybody's always like, oh my God, like, what kind of project car do you have? And I'm like, oh, I don't want.
Yeah, you see
Hell
all
no.
you see all the horror stories and what it actually takes to
like-
get them done.
No, I'm straight. I just want to get in a normal car at the end of the day. And like, and not saying, I mean, I've had project cars. I've had the first car I built was a 93 Caprice wagon.
oh
It was airbag.
Yeah.
It was all black. And then my dad had a 56 Pro Street Nomad. So we airbrushed the trim like a Nomad on it. It had 20-inch torque thrust. It was. I sold it to go to Art Center and paid for my first 2 terms.
hell yeah.
Yeah. And then I had a Magnum that I built for SEMA. And I've had a couple Mustangs that I've built for SEMA. And
You're a wagon dude, huh?
I'm a wagon guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I would actually, like the car I would actually have, if I could have any car right now, is the bigger Audi, the
R6.
Yeah. That car's pretty sick. Like I said, the new one came out today. I don't know if I like the new one. I don't know if I like anything that Audi's doing new recently. But
What about the Beamer wagon?
not a
The
Beamer
M5.
guy.
Yeah, the M5. It's like
I wouldn't say no to it.
It should have been better.
Yeah.
Got a little-
It's not like muscular. enough.
I actually, you know what? I actually wouldn't mind building another Caprice wagon.
yeah.
I'd do a Roadmaster.
So actually, mine was a Roadmaster.
Oh, Roadmaster's where it's at.
Remember
There's one on Bring a
back in the
Trailer.
day when those were hot?
Yeah.
All the Japan was building, they were buying up all the Chevys. So we couldn't find a Chevy.
Yeah.
And so we found a Roadmaster. And
Still had LT1 in them.
it still had the LT1, but it had the glass roof.
Yeah.
So actually, I put an Impala SS front end on it. I made it a Chevy. It's kind of, nobody really knows that.
It's the best front seat and dash and center.
So mine had gold velour interior.
Oh yeah,
And I wanted, remember Tweed back in the day?
yeah.
And then,
You could wrap anything in tweed.
yeah, I was like,
you could
I
wrap
wanted
the
Tweed
exterior of the
but
car
I
in
couldn't
tweed if you
afford
wanted
it.
to.
So my old man across the street from our shop was a salvage yard. My dad's like, hey, get your ass down here. I'm like, well, okay. And he's like, there's a Impala SS that's wrecked, and they said you can have the interior out of it if you can pull it in a day.
Oh.
And so he gave me a bucket full of tools. He goes, go over there and see what you can do. Well, he didn't tell me this part. The lady had a stroke, and she was carrying a whole pallet of jam in the interior, and it was like 120 degrees that day. And so jam was all inside the interior.
Ugh.
That's why they didn't want to take the interior. They were like, it's no good. So I was like, he's like, bring it back, see what we can do with it. So I took the whole interior out, and then I took all the leather off and hogtied and everything and let it sit out in the sun and got hot, and then cleaned it, conditioned it, took it to interior shop, had it redone, and then everything was from an Impala SS. The dash, seats. But now the rear wasn't.
Right.
But I dyed that. So shit, I had a whole interior for like $400 or $500.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then I painted the dash gloss black, the door panels all gloss black, piano black. It was sick.
It'd be a nice daily. Yeah, I'll never forget those guys, the Roadmaster, especially when I was a kid, young kid, probably 8, 9, 10, something like that. Nikki Phillips' mom had one. Choked on my root beer in the back, all the way in the back, threw up, like projectile vomited, like all over the fucking car. It's every time I see one of those, I think of that. I'll never forget it.
That's fine.
New story every episode.
The life and times, man.
Next up for standard questions, your most memorable law enforcement interaction story.
Oof. Well, nothing too crazy.
All right.
Yeah. Hold on here. I don't know.
Never been arrested.
Never been arrested.
Never been chased by the cops.
Not that I can remember, but
Okay.
I don't know when I was my drinking days. Who knows?
Okay.
No, I don't know. I think one time, like one of my old best friend, Mike Sinkmars, used to be freestyle motocross dude.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I used to be best friends with him, and his dad owned a really nice street rod shop too at the time. But he had a rad OBS. It was done like the ZR1 truck. It was a ZR1 clone, and we got pulled over. Yeah, we got tossed with them pretty bad and going on the sidewalk, stuff like that. Oh, actually, I know one. So my wagon, we took it to Huntington Beach on Main Street on 4th of July weekend, which I don't know if you guys know. Huntington Beach, 4th of July don't go well together. It's crazy. And so so we took it down there. I was like, I think it was 18 or 17. And we go down Main Street. We're all cool. Cars bagged all out. It's all looking good and everything. And I had like my buddies in there. And the cop comes up to me and he goes, "What do you guys think you're doing?" And I was like, I called him dude. I was like, "What, dude?" And he goes, "Wait a minute. What did you call me?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Did you call me dude?" And I'm like,
Super Troopers moment.
17. Yeah. I'm like, I call everybody
sir,
dude,
yes, sir.
except my old man. And he's like, "Why don't you do this, dude? Why don't you pull over right there in front of Jack's board shop and get out and we'll just have a look at your car." Yeah, so he wrote me 7 tickets that day. Shaved door handles, the car was too low, exhaust, stereo system, the window tint. One of my friends didn't have his ID. I didn't get that, but yeah, they almost took him away. Yeah, so that's probably... And actually, I got them all written off. I actually took the window tint off, and it looked better with clear windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, wagons with clear windows.
I know.
Right?
You can see all the way through.
Yeah.
Same thing back in the crew cab OBS days and dualies and stuff. Clear windows are just so much better.
Yeah. So, law enforcement question. I didn't notice.
We throw one in there every now and then. Yeah. You feel anything for first car?
First car in Cali.
California is just
for me?
changes it up. Yeah.
Oh, you'll never guess my first.
Sometimes we guess.
We've left that one out for a long time. I'm rusty now.
I know.
It's a good one too.
Subaru Brat.
Close, actually.
I've got a
super close.
I've got a make.
What's the VW?
That's what I was going to
truck?
say. A VW came to mind for me.
The truck one.
The Golf.
Sirocco. The VW Sirocco thing.
Oh, Sirocco. That was a cool ass car.
Yeah, but that's just what.
Scirocco.
Whatever. That's just what.
Was it the Golf Rabbit? The Volkswagen
pickup.
truck. The Golf pickup.
Didn't they do a Fairlane El Camino?
Ranchero, like a Ranchero.
Ranchero.
Oh yeah, but it was a smaller.
Yeah.
You must have known.
No, I swear. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah,
What?
it's the El Camino.
Was it El Camino?
Holy shit. Are you sure?
Truck. I just went truck car,
Brad
Southern
is-
California.
so Brad,
I just
so
felt
Brad
truck car.
is like kind of like an El Camino.
Yeah,
right?
it's truck car. Yeah.
Nicely done, boys.
What the?
Team effort.
Every now and then. Every now and then.
I was off. I told you I felt
Oh,
rusty. I
wow.
felt off.
So yeah, it was 86 El Camino, but
Yes.
it was really nice car, exceptionally nice. So I got it off my dad's accountant, and he had it repainted by a guy that painted Porsches, Don Duffy. He used to paint for Porsche. So it had, I forget what happened. I don't know if he had it repainted just to repaint it, or it got hit. But he needed to get rid of it, and we got into it cheap, and it was just this beautiful black paint job. Like most custom cars were not as good as this. So yeah, it had a 305 in it, which everything else sucked. But yeah, and then I worked 2 summers for my dad and saved up enough money to get. That was my first lesson in wheels and tires. So because I saved up enough money, I wanted Boyd's.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, my dad had Boyd's, but he's like, you want all that shit? You're gonna have to do it yourself. I was like, oh, okay. And so I was working for him, and finally saved up enough money. And he's like, all right, we'll go down to super shops and fucking figure it out. And so I picked a truck. I picked him up, and he didn't have 18s because 18s weren't out yet, but he had 17s, which were crazy back then. I was like, how come mine doesn't look like yours? He's like, well, because you got 15s. And I'm like, I didn't know, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Just
wait
got
a
the
minute.
wheels.
He's like, yeah, the wheels got to be, yeah. And I'm like, well, hold on. I'll take these. He's like, first of all, you don't have enough money. Second of all, no, you're not doing that. Remember the whole you'll kill yourself with 7. You don't know how to ride it that small. The rubber's got this much.
You'll blow the tires out.
Yeah, you'll blow your tire. Yeah, you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah.
It was all that. So, but having said that, I had a nice little stance on it, and then I took a few of the chrome things off and powder coated it but a lot of monochromatic was really big back then, and if you had chrome, it was like,
Oh, yeah. Had to paint
But
the
I
bumpers
wanted
and stuff.
chrome, and I did a few things to it, but it was super doubled when I sold it. I sold it, went to Art Center and doubled it what I got for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I went and sold it, made good money. Going into 7-Eleven, always just go to 7-Eleven to get trucking, right? And go to get trucking. It's on the cover of Auto Trader, and that guy's selling it for like $16,000. So whatever, and he got it. So
Wow.
yeah,
Did you ever try putting a keg behind the passenger seat?
no,
They fit, don't they?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
Built
according
for that?
Yeah, old race car.
Where'd
Race
you
through
hear
to
that?
Sully.
Oh, that was his thing?
Yeah, that's what he always had in El Camino because you could fit a keg behind the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Put the seat back and nobody would know.
There's a shocking amount of space back there in that
there is.
cavity.
Yeah.
Good for speaker boxes.
Human trafficking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first car, El Camino, 86 El Camino. So
We were really, really fucking close. I'll take
Yeah,
that
you
as
were really close.
as an 80% win.
Goes too good.
All right. Where are we at now?
You got car movie, or if you want to go fucking Stallone and Burt Reynolds, I don't know. I'm getting a little burnt on
Bert. A little
fucking
burnt on Bert.
Yeah.
Why are you burnt at me?
Not you, just people.
All right, we'll go favorite car movie.
Smoking the Bandit,
Well, I guess we could ask the next answer.
but Duel is second close.
Duel, really? We watched that in school. Duel.
Duel
That
is-
was it was like a dart, right, or something. What was it? Some sort of.
I mean, it's not really a car movie. It's kind of. Do you think that's a car movie?
well, it's all about the car, right? But there's
It's also about the truck.
it just that is a slow. That and Vanishing Point would be neck and neck for
I
slow
still
ass
like
movies.
Duel. Have you seen Duel?
No.
You know, it's Stephen King's first movie. Oh, not Stephen King. Director
The Stanley Kubrick,
Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg. Oh,
Spielberg's first movie was Duel.
Yeah,
oh shit!
What year was this?
It's like 70s.
1979
79.
It's just a car. Like the car just follows him
with Dennis Weaver.
It's just a weird.
I know a
weird
lot about
movie. For
movies.
some reason, we watched it in school.
Really?
I don't know why.
No, there's no violence. There was hardly any talking in it.
Yeah, it's just like Vanishing Point.
Yeah, it was just like
3
Is
words.
this as good as Maximum Overdrive?
No, fuck no. Maximum
movie.
Overdrive's got a lot of action.
that
And,
movie weirded me out. Vanishing Point's weird too, though.
yeah.
Overdrive's the one with the green
Yeah, the monster truck.
What was the one with the 55 where they go across state and they try to street race?
2-lane blacktop.
That's another one that's quiet and
It's
all
quiet.
those. And Easy Rider.
Artsy.
Yeah, all of them have that. That was that
vibe.
same kind of vibe, but the vehicle made
liked
it.
Easy
And
Rider.
two-lane blacktop was fucking badass because the car was sick. Easy Rider was fucking cool because Peter
Cool shit
Fonda is
happened.
pretty damn
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Easy Rider was
Dennis
cool.
Hopper was cool,
Yeah.
and the bike was cool.
I think Smokey and the Bandit though. Well, I will say Gone in 60 Seconds has a special place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an Eleanor thing. And when that car came out, it's kind of when the G Machine Pro Touring thing started getting a little catching trend, I think they got it right, the driving sequence with the 4-speed, the footwork, and I always see that in movies. Like, that movie Drive with Ryan, what's his face?
Gosling.
Yeah, like it's manual, but it's
Yeah,
14 speed.
It's like
not a manual.
semi-truck. It's just like what's the famous movie?
Vin Diesel.
No, what the fucking Mustang
Gone in
Bullet.
60 seconds.
Bullet.
Bullet. That thing.
Bullet.
It's like a
Yeah,
18 speed.
He just
The amount of times he's shifting.
He just got to
that-
shift a lot.
Yeah.
He just got to shift a lot. You don't have to do it up
I
and
just
down.
watched that the other day. That pound for pound. Oh man, there's a lot of good movies.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, it's a good movie. It's just excessive on the shifting, I feel like.
Yeah.
I just saw a video on Facebook last night. Did you know that the Dukes of Hazzard hood slide was an accident?
How?
Showed the very first one. They're running down a hill, and he was supposed to run, jump, step on the car, step
And
on the hood,
slipped.
and jump off. He missed, slid, and cut his arm open on the antenna.
Yeah.
And they played it back. They go, you could actually hear him. He goes, "Oh shit! Ah!" And
And then they liked
just
it.
turned into a thing. And yeah.
John Schneider?
Yeah.
Do
No, other guy. John Schneider's the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I thought John Schneider was the one that
Luke
did
Duke.
John Schneider was primary dude. He hood slid more, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I feel like he did the
Yeah,
hoods.
Bo Duke.
Yeah.
If you want to call, if you want to mark it down right now, we can call it on the Burt and Stallone deal. We can just,
I'm willing to call it. I'm going
What
to give you
is
the
this?
victory.
but
I'm not conceding myself.
no, I understand.
But from
But
a
we can just end it.
statistically-
we can just end it.
Yeah, statistically, I'll give you
The only way to end it, and it to be not brought up.
I'm not.
Just
Whatever
listen.
you're going to say, I'm not interested in. It's going to be something that's going to make me bow down to something stupid.
You're gonna have to work.
No, I was just going to say that y'all two should find a Burt Reynolds memorabilia for the studio, right? And will that be the commemorative win for Burt for the thing? Something unique in Burt Reynolds memorabilia, and then we'll end it. We won't ask the question again.
You can do that because you're a fan. So bring in some of your fanboy stuff.
Okay, I can do
I've
that.
got a Stallone fucking autographed picture hanging in my office.
Yeah,
What
but
is this- what is this debate we're
obviously,
talking about here?
obviously, the whole entire industry doesn't give a shit. They don't want to see that,
Some
right?
people do.
Who's
Well,
better,
two or three
Stallone
people.
or Burt Reynolds?
Oh, Stallone.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're back, baby.
How did that happen?
Yeah, let's bring it back.
How did
Let's
that
bring it
happen?
back.
Oh, now you're not ready.
yeah,
You're not ready.
Yeah, I mean, only because Rocky 1 was like a great movie.
Yeah.
And First Blood.
Yes. Fuck yes. The thing that everybody forgets about that we touched on that didn't get any traction is the fact that Stallone had the fucking Trans Am before Burt Reynolds did,
Oh, he did.
and wore it better. Like with the
the
with the
7
tiger
seconds.
jacket, with the tiger jacket, dude. I fucking tiger jacket is the shit.
It just wasn't. He just didn't have good enough stories.
Well,
Cannonball Run, though.
it's okay.
Cannonball Run is
It's okay, it's no
Cannonball
Rocky.
Run's neck and neck with Smokey and the Bandit. Cannonball Run's an amazing movie. If anybody
I don't
would
know
just
about
watch
that.
it,
I'm
Yeah,
a big-
because the Countach outshines like any of.
But the thing with me,
Any of the
with,
Trans Am shit.
Smoking the Bandit, is not Burt Reynolds or the Firebird.
no, it's Snowman.
No.
Lonnie?
No. Jackie Gleason and...
Oh, Jackie Gleason. Yeah,
Yeah, Daddy, my hat fell off.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish your goddamn head was in it. Like that kind of shit.
Yeah, that-
like when he pulls those kids over.
Gleason is
Yeah,
the
like-
fucking best.
He's like, I want a El Diablo sandwich and a
And
Dr.
make it a
Pepper to
goddamn
go.
hurry.
You know, like that's the. Thank you, kind lady.
He's sitting at the,
Little known fact, we almost bought a Countach today on Bring a Trailer. Went for about $600,000 more than
Yeah.
we're willing to say.
It was sitting at like a reasonable price point.
With like an hour left.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Just
dude, I think this thing can be bought. You know, I showed
then-
it to you
oh,
because
yeah.
it was the paint was all cracked up
yeah,
and shit.
but then it went.
It went crazy and it didn't
ended
even
up like
sell. Didn't even hit the
670.
fucking reserve.
Oh my god, couldn't talk.
Junior, when I get home, I want to slap your mama
Yeah,
right
all
in
that.
the mouth.
Hilarious.
Oh man, this has been absolute
been
blast.
fun, dude. Really, really cool.
Really,
Thanks for
we
having
have to
me.
do it again. We really have to do it again.
100%.
Yeah, dude, been a fan of your work for a long time. We've known each other for years. And
Years.
shit, we started working together back in
Yeah.
like 2010.
Yeah.
So it's cool to sit down and
We're gonna work on a collab.
We were
Shoot
one
the
of the
shit a little
youngest
bit.
guys going to the shows back in the day. Remember?
Look at
It's
us now.
Yeah. So
Not the youngest guys anymore.
no.
Not the oldest either.
yeah.
We'll see you again next week.